is RazorbackPizza.com. ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. A high this afternoon will be into the lower 90s, mainly clear sky, upper 60s to near 70 overnight. Thursday, a bounty of sunshine, a high right around 95. We should be in the mid 90s on Friday. I'm Sally Russell with the forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050. Cop CDL Academy, expanding horizons.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 24 days.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree
studio. I don't even know who's producing at the moment. Do we have 45 or CJ? We got the unit back here with us today. Yeah, you're loud and clear. You are loud and clear. Sound just like the Verizon guy from all those years ago. Good to see you today, Matt Jones. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day for the first day off from camp. You know, it's the first day off. Camp started Friday. I know.
Oh, my goodness.
I
Kids
know.
are soft these days.
Camp started Friday. You get a day off today. You're not allowed to treat a day off as if it's not some godsend, right? Didn't you treat Monday like a godsend after your concert? Didn't that feel like that?
Watch all the movies they want to watch. Get it out of the way.
Well, when we had camp, Coach Nutt was pretty good about it. You'd get a day off, I don't know, after 10, 11, 12 days or so, but it's really not a day off. You got to kind of go in and get treatment and do stuff. Yeah, you kind of it's like those volunteer mandatory workouts.
Right. Yes. Nothing really voluntary about it. It's just that's the kind of thing the coaches have to say. Yeah. 2 more practices until the first scrimmage, and then they're going to get into the rhythm of the season. Off day Sunday. Go to play a game on Saturday. It'll be a scrimmage in a couple of Saturdays. So there you go. Happy day off. I guess that means it's Unk's birthday. Monty Harrison. Today's number 30. The big 3-0. Monty Harrison shares a birthday with my mom. That's nice.
He's older than me.
By how long? By how much?
Probably just months. Because
Happy birthday, Phil Elson.
I'm almost 30, and next month I'll be 30.
Mrs. Elson, she's a saint.
No kidding. No kidding. For many reasons. For dealing with the person that she's married to and dealing with the firstborn for all these 48 years. Yeah, that's right. She wouldn't mind me saying too. 75. And you know what she's doing on her birthday? Unk gets a day off for his birthday. Mom, working. People still have taxes to pay and businesses to worry about. She's been a CPA for the last 35 years, so she's working today. Because honestly, I don't think she wouldn't tell you what she could do if she's going to retire. You know, she enjoys doing math, so yeah, good for her to celebrate the birthday by I guess something that makes her feel pretty good. And a happy birthday to Unk, who would be an old college football player, but for you, Christian, he'd be a very young radio producer, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
it's about right. It's all about the perspective that you're looking at. We talked a lot about Monty Harrison yesterday and the wide receivers the last couple of days. Today it's into the defensive backs, and heard from Nick Perry, the new defensive backs coach, after Darren Wilson skipped out for Florida. And, Matt, I think if we're looking at areas where Arkansas needs to improve upon, and there's been so much focus on the offensive line and figuring out who's going to replace Andrew Armstrong's production, and if there's going to be a deeper wide receiver room and all that kind of stuff. The other side of the ball was an issue for Arkansas last year, not even just in terms of a lack of big plays consistently throughout the year, but just the pass coverage left a lot to be desired. Arkansas was dead last in passing yards allowed in the SEC. They were near the very bottom. I'm talking in the bottom 3 in pass completion percentage for opponents, turnovers forced. This is, have we focused too much on offense is what I'm saying. I know we like Travis Williams, who's going to have some freedom to dial up some blitzes, it sounds like. But, man, I think, if you're looking areas where the team needs to take a big step forward, Matt, pass coverage, the whole secondary needs to take a step forward from last year.
I don't think we focus too much on offense because you said something a month or so ago that you have to be able at any given time to be able to put up 35. Mm-hmm. You got to win games multiple ways, and so sometimes it's going to be a shootout. That's just the nature of it. But yeah, if you can't stop anybody, run defense first. So it's kind of like you got to pick your poison. I'd rather be able to stop the run than be a little. You want to stop both. I'm not saying that, but if you had to choose one. You got to stop the run first and then worry about the pass. But I know Clay Henry, he thinks SEC running backs are the best athletes in the world. I think D-backs, defensive backs, are the best athletes in the world. You have this unbelievable receiver in front of you that's an SEC talent. He knows the route, and you got to cover him. I mean, it's such a reaction sport. Now, I don't mean eye-hand coordination because a lot of times you don't have to eye-have, but you got to be tough. You got to be able to set an edge. You got to be able to tackle. You got to be able to cover. I think it's the hardest job in sports. It's not baseball. The hardest job in football is to be a defensive back.
Well, what's the first step that a defensive back takes, Matt? It's back, isn't it? Well, I should just let you answer that.
Well, you don't overstride. It's a short choppy step, and I used to see Ahmad Carroll working on this. They put the band around both their ankles, and then you kind of short stop, and then you got to be able to change your. You can't just not back. Then you got to be ready to go, whichever way it is. You got to be like a jaguar or a leopard or a cheetah. Like you got to be able to react and just pounce.
I always think about how footwork is so important in terms of anything you're doing defensively. Heck, on the offensive side too, it's awfully important, but you think about what first for a defensive back would be more backwards compared to forward for anybody that he's covering, and it's just you're not going as fast backwards. And I remember growing up watching hockey games, Matt, and watching these defensemen skating backwards, which is different than what you're doing as a defensive back, but changing direction immediately. I'm talking from side to side, and then automatically just shooting forward to try to deflect a pass away or something. It's amazing to watch anybody playing defense in any sport, because it's the footwork and it's the repetition that I think just plays into it so much. And I think about Arkansas baseball and how good they are defensively on a year-by-year basis. Cal usually is a really good defensive team, and Arkansas football right now, I think they've been lacking a little bit defensively. Hey, this is a chance, I think, to take a huge step forward from a passing defense that allowed 247 yards per game last year. You do have a couple of the cornerbacks that are back that are probably going to get some playing time. Jaheim Singletary was in front of the media yesterday. Selman Bridges will probably get some playing time, but I think they focused on bringing in players who have started elsewhere for defenses that at least had a little more success than Arkansas. Julian Neal, 3 years at Fresno State, really didn't get a chance to start much until last year. Halfway decent secondary, albeit in a Mountain West. Kenai Walker will be somebody to watch. That's somebody that I'd expect is potentially one of your starters on the outside. Oklahoma's pass defense wasn't terrible last year, Matt, and in the same league as the Razorbacks comparatively, they were quite a bit better. And he led them in passes defended, only one interception, but it just looks like you got some guys with some experience to also replace some of your experience. Losing Marquise Robinson playing for 1 year. Hudson Clark, it's the first year without Hudson for 5 years. And then there's Metcalf, of course, at safety, who probably was the biggest playmaker at the secondary for the Hogs last season.
The thing about D-backs too, Phil, it's you have to you got to run a 4-4. You can't really – to be a receiver, you can get by running a 4.67. But to cover somebody, you're a cornerback and you run a 4.71, you're not going to last very long. I mean, you have to be able to go, and it's that change of direction that gets me. That those D-backs, you have to be able to put a foot in the ground, keep a bend in your back and your knee, and not overstride and explode.
Yeah, and you hear a little bit from Coach Perry about how they're making plays in camp, and I can't help but think about this every single time somebody brings up Antonio Jordan or you see some amazing play he's made on the curated social media highlights that are being shown from practice, and that means he's beating somebody that may be a starter on the secondary, right? And you think of anybody that's forcing a turnover in camp, well, they're probably forcing it, well, potentially for Taylen Green. So, yeah, you can tie yourself in knots with all this stuff from practice. Halftime on a Wednesday today. We got Grant Hall coming up in the next segment, and then Clay Henry joins us at 12 noon for a couple of hours. Calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Hotline are at 877-377-6963. Grant Hall will join us right after this.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee. Do you have what it takes to win the football trip of a lifetime to see the Dallas Cowboys take on the Las Vegas Raiders at Allegiant Stadium? Do you want to spin the wheel and win great prizes? Join us Thursday, August 7th from 11:30 to 1:30 at Hardee's, 2720 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith for our lunch qualifier. Eat a monster burger in 150 seconds to qualify. The 20th annual football trip of a lifetime brought to you by Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com. Reserve your seat at the table.
Every Thursday, take a trip down memory lane.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Choose your escape. Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. Take a luxurious dip with the $5 Classic box. Indulge in a lavish meal with the $7 Supreme box. Or explore new worlds with the $9 Discovery box, now featuring the crispy chicken burrito for a truly unmissable experience.
Is that Tony Hawk?
Get Lux for less, only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Roback's got the gear for your perfect summer days.
East Coast summers nipping on the run. Now the beachfront nights, fireflies and thunderstorms. Won't you kiss me, darling? Tell me that you're gonna stay. Yeah. Give me those East Coast summers, Maryland to Maine. Now the seaside.
Shop polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and much more in the American Summer Collection at Roback.com.
Roback made finding the perfect pair of pants or shorts much easier. They're a clean fit with comfortable premium fabric. They look great on and off the golf course. So shop at Roback.com for the Delta pants and shorts.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
Hey, it's Colton Little. Been trying to kill a little bit of time at work, so I logged on to MyBookie, and as the clock has ticked by, I've already made money, and I've already had a good time. They've got tons of great stuff on there. I'm talking about blackjack, roulette, live dealers, poker, and a full lineup of slots. They didn't make me download an app. All I had to do was just log in, made a quick deposit, and then I was playing games and winning money. If you're thinking about checking out MyBookie, you should have done it yesterday. Use the promo code HOGS, and they'll toss you a nice deposit match of up to $1,000. And now you can bet on the Hogs all season long with MyBookie.
Moss.
I've got a secret I cannot say. They might have moved me, give it away. You've got something that I understand. Hold it in tightly, God on command. Leap of faith, do you doubt? Cut you in, I just cut you out.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Well, we got a schedule release. Men's basketball, the SEC put out the conference schedule about 11 minutes ago. Kentucky on a Saturday, January 31st. Not bad. Not bad. Saw they're playing Tennessee to open the season. Opening game, January, has been very kind to Arkansas basketball in the last 2-3 years. Hall of Famer Grant Hall with us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline here on a Wednesday. Good morning, Grant. Did you see the basketball schedule came out? Or at least the conference schedule?
Just hearing that, for years, Arkansas opened at Mississippi State. Who do they open with this year?
Tennessee. Tennessee at home, just like last year, but last year was on the road, and that was an ugly one.
That'll be fun. Calipari has not shied away from playing tough intersectional teams this year either. He kind of likes those spotlighted games in different places, so I think he likes this roster pretty well.
Yeah, I think he does. Looks like you got LSU a couple of times, Tennessee, Carolina, Vanderbilt, LSU, Kentucky, Auburn, Mizzou, A&M, and Texas are the home games. So, hey, it's a pretty good home schedule for basketball. I don't remember if Michigan State is home or road, though, this year, but I know you'll get them at one point over the next 2 years. So there you go. Basketball schedule's released. And now we got to do is get through the next 3 weeks for football and hope we're not talking basketball in September too much, Grant.
Yeah, yesterday I went over and listened to Nick Perry, who's a first-year assistant coach of Arkansas, and he's charged with these defensive backs. He likes the fact that he can look up at them rather than down. Arkansas's got some taller guys this year, some big cornerbacks. He likes that. Larry Worth goes about 6'4", 226. And they like the room. I know the receivers coach Fouch he was talking about their guys. Arkansas lost its top 9 receivers in terms of production from last year, but so it's kind of an unknown quantity there. I think these guys sort of think that they're better than they're being predicted to be, but that's probably true of every team right now, right? Everybody thinks they're going undefeated.
Grant, I haven't gotten my eyes on any of this practice yet. I'm interested to see, the new offensive line. Have you seen any practice yet? And the first time I'll get to see anything will be against you at Alabama A&M. So you got to kind of take that for what it is. Then Arkansas State. But have you seen any practice yet? What are you looking forward to watching?
Just really in the spring, Matt. My wife and I have been. We went to the beach last week in North Carolina to see my daughter and her family.
Did you golf at all?
I didn't golf. I looked at a couple of courses there. Didn't take my golf clubs. We went to the beach 11 times in 6 days, which I thought was pretty good. And did a lot of other stuff. Saw the aquarium, did things with grandkids, and then we had the all-time horrible travel day coming back, where one of those things where they stick you in at Charlotte. We couldn't get out that night, so we had to spend the night and so forth, get 3 hours sleep. But good to go, and happy to be back in Northwest Arkansas. I wanted to mention one thing. I don't know if you guys covered this last week, but I saw Trey Trumbo yesterday, and it reminded me, Trey played UA basketball with both Alan Zahn and Robert Burton, and both of those men have passed away this year. Alan Zahn more recently, I think he was 66 years old, which just, to me, how time gets away. But he was a guy that had these shoulders that all the other players talked about on the opposing team. They thought he was a neat looking guy, and I think he averaged about 10 points his senior year. Trey played in 76, 77 before going to Western Kentucky, but he played, I believe, 1 year with Robert Burton, who started out with Lanny Van Eman in Arkansas. A visually interesting guard. I remember the writer Michael Gaspenny describing him as. So longtime Razorback fans will remember those two guys, really good players for the University of Arkansas.
Hey, I'd not read about them, Grant. So I appreciate you bringing that up. I watched my first full Major League Baseball game last night. I'm not counting the All-Star game because that's not a real game. Certainly, the way that they finished that thing is not real. But I watched the Phillies and the Orioles last night. I've decided I'm going to be a Phillies fan for the remainder of the year. That has nothing to do with 2026. I just want a team to root for right now, a team to pull for, and I kind of like Schwarber, and I like Bryce Harper, and the city of Philly. I don't care that they just won a Super Bowl. I just want something to root for. I got to have a team to actually care about, to watch a lot of these games right now. And the Pirates, of course, are not worth it. So Philadelphia is going to be my team.
Well, you can root for Harrison Bader, also a former Cardinal who's on his 5th team now, and they just got him. He had a 3-run home run the other night. The team, guys that has won more games than anybody is Milwaukee. They've won 69 games, I think, and they're really hot. I think something like 21 out of 25, and they've gotten a pretty good little cushion on the Cubs here in the last week. So that team has kind of quietly come on. Yelich has always been good for them, and they've got an injury or two. But my Cardinals are 57 and 58, languishing. They lost 12-6 to the Dodgers last night. And today, I think they go against Ohtani on the mound this afternoon. So I'm not sure, Phil, how many innings he's up to now, but he is pitching some for the Dodgers.
I was looking at Bader's career, and I remember when he was I won't use the term franchise savior or anything, but he looked really good when he first came up. He was going to be a cornerstone of the franchise in center field for years, right? But it doesn't. Yeah. But it doesn't always work out that way. And he's played for 6 teams in the last 3 years, which is journeyman category at the age of 31. You know what we don't have right now? Are we allowed to actually use the word journeyman to describe some college football players that are on their 4th team in 5 years? Because no one's ever brought that up before. I think like Jaylen Brown, the receiver that Sam's talked about quite a bit, LSU, Florida State. That's a journeyman. We got a few journeymen on this football team.
Yeah, and of course the best example, I guess you'd say, is Monty Harrison, who turns 30, I believe, in a few days. Isn't that right? And and happy birthday, and he's up there in the rotation with all these receivers. Who's going to be playing? I heard you all talking about it yesterday, and about how last year Armstrong had 78 catches but just 1 touchdown. Do they have difference makers there? Guys with I think they were pretty high on Cisse, but he's out for the year, it looks like. And Raylan Sharp has turned some heads, but he's just 5'9". And I know Fouch believes that he says that the size doesn't matter in terms of guys getting open. Maybe that y'all talked about Tesla yesterday. Was that the issue with him? Was he not getting enough separation that they felt confident throwing to him a lot? But the NFL sure liked him.
I think they had Broden ahead of him, and he just never got, for whatever. We talked a little bit about it. I think there's players that are really good practice players, and then they get into the game, and they're just not. And I think that's kind of what you got, because Broden has talent. I mean, he was a violent runner, and he just didn't perform to what I think his abilities were. And then it's, when do you? I don't know, as coaching staff, when do you move him on? Because how do you have a third-round pick and not play him? Like that doesn't look good on the coaching staff.
Yeah, and Broden, he was one of those guys that would make at least one sensational catch in practice every day.
That's what right.
Yeah.
Well, somebody Single A texted in, and I think he's right about this. They're putting Monte Harrison out in front of the camera. It's his body's right now. It's not like you think you gotta wait a couple of years maybe in terms of for some freshmen to kind of start blossoming and everything. But Monte's a grown man and with a great mindset of the way that he views who he's competing with. He's competing with himself on a snap by snap basis. I liked hearing that. But this will be the year that he got to pop. Like, this is a season for a 30-year-old, and I say that with all complete respect. I think there's a lot of people joking about his age and what he's trying to do. I love what he's trying to do, but this is a year that he can't actually pop. It's just a matter of, I think he'll get a chance early, and he's going to have to capitalize on that.
It's interesting, guys. You can hear these comments from every team before the season, but I know both in the receivers Monday and the defensive backs yesterday, they talk about this bond that they have and how they're knit together and all this stuff. And you can see it when you got three of them up there together and they're all nodding their heads. And I think that in this day and age, with so much turnover on rosters every year, it's interesting how that can happen so quickly. And something like the Julian Neal came in here, from Fresno State, and I guess briefly at UCLA and now Arkansas, and he's, talking about that. I believe he's the guy. He had a family reunion this year, and at Conway, Arkansas, there's a Criswell Lane that goes back to his family name, and so he's got this background in Arkansas. So I don't know. We'll see how it all shakes out, but I know there's a lot more optimism inside that camp than there probably is around the country about Arkansas football.
Hey, Grant, I want to get your thoughts on golf this week, and I know the Tour Championship is getting ready to go. How do you see it unfolding? Who do you like this week? I believe it's in Memphis, the FedEx St. Jude Championship. Right. Yeah, TPC Southwind.
Well, I guess it would be silly to go against Scheffler, although this year they don't have that ridiculous thing where they start some guy 10 shots ahead or whatever.
That was the worst. I don't understand that. Yeah, that was the worst.
I read a thing today, Matt, where one person's opinion of the Ryder Cup team is going to be Scheffler, Schauffele, Spawn, Henley, DeChambeau, let's see, Harris English, Thomas, Griffin, Morikawa, Cantlay, Bradley, and Burns.
What about
there's
Koepka?
More and more?
No,
well, no, not on there. He hasn't done well in the majors.
Yeah.
I hear Gilmore's making a big comeback.
Haven't seen that yet. More, but there's more and more talk about Keegan Bradley maybe playing. And what do you do? Does he postpone his captaincy for another time? Does he? What if he appoints himself and then he loses the first match and all these things? It's pretty intriguing because he's 10th on the list, and he had said he would not appoint himself if he wasn't in the top 6, but now he's kind of gone back on that a little bit. So he's really popular where they're going to play. Another guy, Cam Young is hot. Another guy, Goddard, who recently stared down McIlroy, I think, in the Scottish Open. But do you choose guys who were hot for the last month or for the year or two before? So it's pretty intriguing to see who's going to be on this team.
Yeah, consistency I think matters. Then you got to, you sit down and you talk. Was somebody injured? What was going on? I do think consistency matters, though. So just because somebody, shot the moon for a couple weekends, I don't know that I like the guy that's been, consistently making cuts and being in the top 20 all year.
Yeah, and like Cantlay has not done well in the majors this year, but he was such a good partner to Schauffele in the previous Cups. So it's going to be. I can't wait to see how it shakes out.
Grant, let's leave it there. We'll pick it up again next Wednesday, okay?
All right, guys. See you later.
Always appreciate you. Hall of Famer Grant Hall with us on Wednesday mornings on Halftime. Lewis Automotive Hotline open if you want to get on, 877-377-6963. If you had a chance to visit WT Equipment with their location in Fayetteville, amongst some of their other 8 locations all around the region. WT Equipment's where you find New Holland ag and construction equipment, sales, parts, and service. High horsepower row crop tractors and combines, utility tractors, hay equipment, compact track loaders, and mini excavators, much more as well. WT Equipment has it all at their 8 locations. You can call them or stop by a store. Just give a look online at WTEquip.com. WT Equipment, your partner in progress. Back with more Halftime in just a moment.
It'll be like this one time at band camp.
This is Halftime.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Sharp Equipment is your one-stop shop for heavy equipment. Now with their new location in Van Buren on 3918 Pointer Trail East. Whether your machine's rattling, sputtering, or refusing to start, Sharp's got the parts and expertise to get you moving again. Looking for a new piece of heavy equipment? Look to Sharp Equipment, an authorized Wacker Newson dealer. Sharp Equipment has what you need. Come see Sharp at their new location in Van Buren across from Mid-South Steam Boiler, or call 479-649-0500 to see how Sharp Equipment will help you move more than just the world, will help you move forward.
The difference between an average morning and a Hardee's morning is hearty goodness that lasts till lunchtime. Like Hardee's smoked sausage biscuit. Split Hillshire Farm smoked sausage on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. And our Frisco breakfast sandwich with cherrywood smoked bacon or ham on toasted sourdough. Hardee's, goodness in the making. Download the app and join my rewards for special offers. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Is your business's IT infrastructure secure? At Dixie Digital, we provide comprehensive managed IT services to ensure your systems are running smoothly and your data is protected. Combine that with Xerox, Brother, and Epson reliable printers and copiers, and you've got everything you need for success. Call us today at 783-6600 to learn more about our IT services and special offers. Dixie Digital Imaging, your trusted partner for IT and document management.
A lot of life can happen between sips of Dasani. You know, the life moments, big and small, that are worth getting thirsty for. Like organizing a family movie night under the stars. Or hearing an old favorite song and having an impromptu dance party. Or finding a new dinner recipe that the whole family loves. The crisp, clean taste of Dasani was made for all of life's thirst-worthy moments. Dasani, because life happens between sips.
Looking for quality metal buildings and roofing? Metal Mart has you covered. From prefabricated metal buildings to custom trim, carports, and more, Metal Mart is your one-stop shop. Contractors and do-it-yourselfers are always welcome, and their experts will help you calculate the materials you need, all at a price you can afford. With locations in Fort Smith, Little Rock, and Jonesboro, or visit metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRDTEAM.com. BIRD.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Oh, Matt Jones, I got stress. You know some of the stuff I'm dealing with here. I got kids at the end of the month, not the end of the month, because we're doing it a week before football season, August 23rd. Bar mitzvah for both the kids at the same time, which is called the B'nai Mitzvah. Usually done at 13. My son's 13, daughter's 16. They're doing it together. I did this when I was 13, but I guess I didn't appreciate all the planning and money that you spend on something like this. So here it is. We are... what are we? We're about like 2.5 weeks away from the event, and most everything is kind of selected and all of that, but it's just a lot of nerves and anxiety heading into a big event like that where, all I want is for the kids to have fun and enjoy it. It's almost like this little August camp that we're going through with a lot of unknowns going to the event, but then we don't have a full season after that. Then I actually get to just pay attention to college football, and maybe that'll make me a little anxious too, because I don't know if Arkansas football will do much about helping anybody's anxiety.
I hate that I have to miss it. That's pretty cool. That we have a nobody cares about your fantasy football team, but they fantasy football draft that day. This be the third year in a row that I've done it, and kind of looking forward to that. Yeah, but that's. And those kids, they got to be excited, as kids, you want to be, feel like you're loved and wanted and accepted and cherished and adored. And I know you guys do that. Are your parents coming down for it?
Oh yeah, they'll be here for it. Even got some other, longtime family members, friends coming in from Pittsburgh and wherever else. It's gonna feel good once it's all done. And thank you very much, BE. He is reminding me now that there is more time behind me than there is in front of me. When your kids are turning 13, let me think about this here, because I was 13, 35 years ago. My parents have lived longer than so they've actually had more time behind them than in front of them I'm hoping I can make it.
Did you leave the house at 18 and never come back? Like, was that a thing? Because I feel like when I left the house to go to college, I never really moved back in. Did you ever kind of like, I think it's a thing nowadays, but if that's what you're looking at, if kids at 18, they leave the house and don't really come back. I don't mean visit, but I mean live there again.
I think that was the original plan. Yeah. I don't think it worked out that way quite, because I screwed up enough times where I ended up back at the house at least for a year and then a month. So I'd say the last time I lived at home, no, it wouldn't. It would probably have been like 27, 28 years ago. So it's been a minute.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Well.
Not quite when I was 18. I'm not kicking these kids out though. Not yet. We'll just celebrate them a little bit longer, and then get into football season, and then it'll start feeling a little bit more normal and natural. And I don't know, I won't have all of this anxiety about trying to plan something except the Saturday pregame show, which makes you a little bit anxious, but not too anxious. Already was looking at some of these numbers for Arkansas football in the secondary last year, and I got a lot of stuff on the tight ends too. When you're looking at the idea of tight ends just not really being used in the passing game much at all under Kendall Briles, under Dan Enos, and then last year under Bobby Petrino, he just kind of got a little bit back to using the tight ends. But Matt, the tight end is so amazingly important in Petrino's offense. For the 5 year, really his first 4 years at Louisville, the tight ends were some of the most dangerous weapons that he utilized. And of course, Lamar Jackson was part of that for a couple of years, but it was only 2 of the 4 years where tight ends were averaging about 42 to 45 receptions per season. Tight ends last year, 26 receptions. And hey, that's just about as many as they'd had in the previous 4 years total. And I still think, Matt, it's been a long time since Arkansas was promoted as tight end U. But one of the reasons that they grabbed onto that tight end U moniker was because of what DJ Williams did at Arkansas.
Well, Hunter Henry too.
Absolutely.
Even back to Jodine Davenport, Jason Peters. Yeah, I mean there was a tight end. It seemed like, and sometimes there was multiple tight ends.
And part of that was under Petrino for 2 years, where tight ends were not the most utilized weapon, but definitely a major utilized weapon. Chris Gragg, DJ Williams, and I also think of. This is nothing against the previous tight ends, but they were recruited by Briles or Enos. And now this is Petrino's own guys. In fact, truly one of his own guys that he brought in at A&M, Jaden Platt, who's going to be, along with Rohan Jones, probably 2 of the featured tight ends, and maybe Andreas Pashka too. So, there's so much talk sometimes about, well, guys, coaches need to bring in their guys. And I thought Haas would fit into what Petrino wanted to do pretty well. But maybe that's the case with these two. And it's going to have to be because, just think I think tight end was kind of not a forgotten about position at a school where it's been a successful position, but man, you got to get back to it. Not necessarily have to be tight end university, but you got to be something like that here.
You have to be able to have a 12 personnel, Phil. Like it's just, you have to, man. If you can't line up with 2 tight ends every once in a while and have some type of package, it's tough because what 12 does is it balances you. The defense has to declare a strong and a weak side. You're able to use motion a little bit. I mean, with any formation, you can use personnel, but 12 really does. I think it's advantage offense if you have a good 12 personnel.
What does it take in order to trust a couple of tight ends to be out there at the same time?
Well, like anything, do you know your assignment? Are you talented enough? Can you go on 2? There's a couple things, and maybe they are. What was the talk? The kid from Montana State supposed to be pretty good. There is a disconnect though. You're right. Last couple of years, for whatever reasons, the tight ends have been a weakness of this team. We had 2 guys quit on the team last year that were tight ends. So there's something going on in the tight end room that hasn't really been beneficial, hasn't been good the last couple of years, and hopefully they can remedy that this year.
A couple of people had texted in, don't forget about Jeremy Sprinkle. He was awfully good. And I mean, even in the Morris years, I mean, there was the thought that Cheyenne O'Grady was one of your better playmakers. Obviously, he ended up leaving the team early too. So that is a part of a disconnect, I think, over the years. Because even under Morris, there was a tight end that was dangerous and would make a play every once in a while. You just didn't. He was a knucklehead, but then again, I guess I can be too. Chris remembers the great tight end at Louisville in his first tenure. He had one there the first time around. Gary Barnidge, a Pro Bowler, 8 years in the NFL. Paul asks, do you think he couldn't utilize tight ends as much because of them trying to help out the offensive line?
No, that helps out the offensive line having 2 tight ends there. That's what I mean. Like it's we didn't have 2 tight ends to use is what it sounds like. But it helps everything to be able to have a 12 personnel. It's the defense has to declare, and then you're able to run or pass the ball. It's so hard. We just were talking about covering receivers, how tough that is for D-backs. Linebackers are a safety having to cover one of your tight ends. It's even doubly as tough. So that's such a mismatch that you can really take advantage of that on the offensive side if you have 2 tight ends.
Jones had a great year. It's FCS, and so I just, who knows if this translates from Montana State even halfways to the SEC in just 1 year to do it and try to acclimate yourself really quickly. 30 receptions, 470 yards, and 9 touchdowns in 14 games for Rohan Jones last year. And that was taking a step up from an FCS team from Maine to Montana State. It's one of the better teams, and they lost in the FCS national title game.
Such a short throw, such an easy throw for the quarterback tight end. Red zone, third down, short yardage. It's the bootlegs and the fakes, getting them out in the flats and being able to turn up and get 6-7 yards first. Such an easy throw if you can get the tight ends going a little bit. And it gives the quarterback confidence, I think. It really does. It's just easy completions there that are, 5-yard throws, 7-yard throws right in front of you. Not a whole lot of trying to figure it out when you're throwing to the tight ends. It's also a lot like being a point guard in basketball, and the guy, let's say DeMarcus Cousins has him on his back, Tim Duncan, whoever you want to say, the post player, he gets him on, and then you just throw it to him. You just kind of lead him away from that defense. It can be such a plus if you can figure out how to use the tight end.
When I say tight end, who's the first player that you think of? Just the first guy that comes to mind for you.
Heath Miller. He was in my draft class.
I remember
from
him
Virginia.
well.
I was a big time fan of Heath Miller, and then and then of course Asen Witten. I'm not a fan of his, but he still lives in my mind rent free.
You left out the I still think of Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah. Antonio Gates would be another one, but Tony Gonzalez is probably Phil, if you were to say who's the best tight end you've ever seen or the best tight end, I think Tony Gonzalez would be number one.
Wasn't he also a basketball player?
Yeah, for Cal.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's probably more basketball players turned football players at tight end than maybe another position. Would you think the other be defensive line? Who is the kid from
Julius Peppers?
That's
played
right,
at Carolina.
Who is the dude from NC State that's playing across?
DJ Lagway or something.
No, it's Queen. Is it Queen? He was a DJ, I think was his name. I can't remember. He was like 6'10", or thinking, give it a shot at defensive line. But he was maybe didn't quite have the killer instinct, because you got to have that too. Were you? I think brought this up when you were doing your pre-draft interviews. Did one of the teams talk to you about moving a tight end or thinking about it?
There was a little bit. I was 240 coming out, and so if I was going to be a tight end, I gain 20 pounds. If you're going to be a receiver, lose 20 pounds. So it's kind of one of those deals. And if I would have ran a 4.6, I would have been a tight end.
Sure.
4.3, it's kind of we'll keep you at receiver type thing. So
yeah, been the fastest tight end time ever.
Vernon Davis, I think, ran a 4.3. He was one of those. I think he was a Maryland guy that played for the 49ers for a handful of years.
877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Hotline, and we're back to wrap up hour number 1 of Halftime right after this break.
Good luck with your layoffs, all right? I hope your firings go really well.
This is Halftime.
Do you love cooking and being a part of a great team? Hey, it's Ty Richardson, and I was talking to Linda Newmeyer the other day. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, Newmeyer's Rib Room, and Newmeyer's Whippoorwill are hiring kitchen staff. Stop by any of the 3 restaurants in downtown Fort Smith. I used to work at a pizza place back in the day. Maybe I'd give it a shot. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the Whippoorwill, and Rib Room. Apply today and join the Newmeyer family.
You're hired. Come back tomorrow at noon for training.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a store card. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
A lot of life can happen between sips of Dasani. You know, the life moments, big and small, that are worth getting thirsty for. Like organizing a family movie night under the stars. Or hearing an old favorite song and having an impromptu dance party. Or finding a new dinner recipe that the whole family loves. The crisp, clean taste of Dasani was made for all of life's thirst-worthy moments. Dasani, because life happens between sips.
Looking for quality metal buildings and roofing? Metal Mart has you covered. From prefabricated metal buildings to custom trim, carports, and more, Metal Mart is your one-stop shop. Contractors and do-it-yourselfers are always welcome, and their experts will help you calculate the materials you need, all at a price you can afford. With locations in Fort Smith, Little Rock, and Jonesboro, or visit metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. I stopped by at Shangri-La Resort here in Mount Ida, Arkansas. My buddy Phil Carr got the hamburger steak. He convinced me on some apple pie. Phil, I know you guys have some family groups that even come from like Shreveport and other cities out of town. They need to think Shangri-La Resort.
Yes, definitely. We have a lot of groups that come in August. We have a lot of fishing groups float into August, into September, especially from up north, come in and fish for stripers. It's just a great time. That's my favorite time of the year. Shangri-La Resort in beautiful Mount Ida, Arkansas. A touch of paradise and a boatload of fun.
Methodist Family Health has more than a century of providing the best possible care to those who may need our help. As we move forward through our second century, we are adding another nonprofit behavioral hospital for children and adolescents to our complete continuum of care. No matter the names of our programs, Methodist Children's Behavioral Hospital, Arkansas Cares, Methodist Counseling Clinics, we are all Methodist Family Health. Many names, one care.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Watched one episode, the first episode of SEC football any given Saturday on Netflix yesterday. It was after I watched my Phillies beat the Orioles, and I'd had one martini, so I didn't make it to the very end. I kind of fell asleep in the last 15 minutes. But this is, I think this will be an interesting watch, even though no Texas, no Alabama, no Georgia, no Missouri, no Oklahoma, no Ole Miss. There's a lot of LSU in this first episode, and a lot of Brian Kelly with a very... to me, came across as, because everything that Kelly says comes across manufactured and well thought about ahead of time. He opens his eyes with a bright look in his face and says, well, my mortgage and my future and everything is tied to 18 to 20-year-olds, as if we haven't heard every coach say that for the last 100 years. The thing with Kelly, and I don't think this was from this episode specifically, I think it's from later, or it might have been on the point that I fell asleep, is that Matt, his agent, is also the same agent that Garrett Nussmeier is using. Coach and quarterback using the very same agent, which I'm not sure if I've heard about this before. Maybe this has happened in the NFL. But in the NFL, Kelly is on the phone with this agent trying to talk to him about convincing Nussmeier to come back to Arkansas or come back to LSU. The coach isn't doing the negotiations in the NFL. So that just came across very odd and very only in college football.
Yeah, I guess it would have been different. Jimmy Sexton, I think, was Coach Nutt's agent for a little bit. I don't That's a different world, Phil.
No kidding.
It's been a while since I've been in that world, but it is it's a weird world because you think something of yourself, but then they go in there behind closed door and that's what they're doing. They're discussing you. And do you want to hear it? Do you not want to hear it? You know, what is I tend to believe that you want to hear it. But some people, you know, as Lamar Jackson, I think his mother's his agent. You know, and sometimes when you're that good, you know, they're not going to. I think back to the Tony Gwynn deal when the commissioner made him take more money. Said, no, dude, you have to take more. You can't do that. I mean, he was trying to do a team-friendly deal, and same type of thing. Some of those guys, they're going to get their money, unless you're Micah Parsons.
I just never want to think like the coach is against you. And I think it's the idea of business and personal. You can't take the business personal, but any time that there's negotiations, you know, I think of how some baseball players come out of arbitration, you know, which they get to go into before free agency occurs years before. You know, they walk away from those arbitration hearings just with not a dented ego, but it's the people they're working for are showing reasons for why we don't want to pay you what you're asking for. You know, well, you could be better at this, you could be better at this, you could be better at this, and you're not as good as you think you are. It's basically what they're telling you. You know, and I just wonder if eventually that ends up coming in to college football, and it must be. But you don't want that to be coming from the coach. Like, it's understood a coach is going to coach you in a certain way, coach you up, get you better, get you to realize things about yourself. But I don't think they're going to make you think that, hey, I'm not worth what I think I'm worth, right? They're tearing you down in that case. I think it's a general manager in cases that does that.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite stats is the WAR, you know, wins above replacement, and that's not just a baseball stat. That's basketball and football as well. So it kind of helps you see where are you slotted against everybody else competing with you at the quarterback position. You know, everybody competing at the tight, whatever position it is. Where do they got you?
JT points out Kelly's in his fourth year making $10 million. If he's got a mortgage, he's a bad manager of money. Very good
Didn't
point,
he get
JT.
double paid though? Wasn't he the guy his first year? They didn't. He got like a $19 million extra or something in his financial. They didn't find it.
They
for like
didn't.
6 months or
It
something?
took a while. It was a little bit funny the way that's right. It was hey, this extra paycheck showed up. What should I do with this? Just be very quiet about that. Shh. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Hotline. Hall of Famer Clay Henry joins us for the rest of the show. He joins us right after this break.
At the toe, it's gotta be Jelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality, price, and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco.
For hard work and the great outdoors.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission's simple: improve the quality of life in our communities. We've expanded to several non-member areas to help new communities. If you live in areas near Altus, Branch, Coxville, Mountainburg, Murray, Spur, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect may be available to you right now. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Wave Rural Connect will continue opening new areas throughout 2025.
GNC knows that you're not always feeling it at the gym,
But don't get down, get lit, and get more out of every workout. Beyond Raw Lit is a clinically dosed pre-workout that flips the switch and gives you more energy, focus, intensity, and pumps. The perfect combo for a killer workout. Plus, it's got incredible flavors and thousands of 5-star reviews, so you know it's good. Pick it up at GNC stores or go to gnc.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. The high this afternoon will be into the lower 90s, mainly clear sky, upper 60s to near 70 overnight. Thursday, a bounty of sunshine, a high right around 95. We should be in the mid 90s on Friday. I'm Sally Russell with the forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050. Cop CDL Academy, expanding horizons.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 24 days. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. Ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they were one Razorback.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Hi, and welcome back in. It's halftime, moving along on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. Phil Elson here along with my partner, Matt Jones. We got Christian Johnson in the producer's chair, bringing on Clay Henry in just a moment. Calls and texts always coming in at 877-377-6963, our Lewis Automotive Hotline. If you missed out on the news that broke about 50 minutes ago or so, the SEC basketball schedule has been released, and so we know what the conference schedule looks like for Arkansas, if not the full non-conference schedule. It's all out there on, I believe, on the school website. You get Kentucky on a Saturday, January 31st. I'll assume that'll be a night game. You also get A&M, Texas, Mizzou, Auburn, LSU, Vandy, Carolina, and Tennessee as your home games.
Sometimes those Saturday games, Phil, they might be one or two. Like sometimes those basketball games are lit. Now the weekday games, it seems like they'll play them late. But yeah, that'd be interesting to see. Does Kentucky come to Bud Walton this year?
They do.
Yeah.
They will be at Bud Walton January 31st, and that's right. It's opening up against Tennessee, who you lost 76-52 last year to open up SEC play. 4 years in a row, lost the opener by an average of 18 points. You get, the same school, if not the same roster and the same coach, but this one will be at Bud Walton Arena. Hopefully January goes better. You know, it's interesting, though, when you look at, if Arkansas football has a bad September, which would be 2-3, then you have a lot of people just moving on to basketball in November. Based on what you saw last year, with the terrible month of January, but the great finish in March, I think people will hold on a little bit before moving on to baseball if there's a rough month of January again.
Well, I do like the mix of the upperclassmen and the young guys. I think with some of our upperclassmen this year, Phil, I don't think it'll go down that way this year. I think they're going to be better. And Coach Cal, what did he say? He knows his way around campus now. You know, this being a little more familiar with everything. I think they'll shine a little bit better in the regular season this year. I could see him being top 4 this year. Yeah.
Well, and with football season coming around, Clay, I think now I've got to make the rule for anybody that's on the basketball team to no golf carts allowed. No golf carts at football games coming down coming down the hill. It's just I would put that top of the list for basketball for right now.
I'll take it a step further. No scooters either.
Yeah, yeah. No vehicles. Just stay in your apartment and then just
Uber.
Walk. Just walk. Just walk and look all four
Yeah,
ways.
I mean-
Keep your head on a swivel while you're walking over to the performance center.
Roll in there in a bubble. Yeah.
It's like I just want to treat. It's how we want to treat all the baseball players at the SEC tournament. Don't go outside. Don't play. Don't do anything. Don't even breathe. Just stay on the plane and go home.
Stay on the plane and go home.
That's right. They don't even want them to play. I guess it will be a little bit different.
No,
Hey, Clay.
no floats down to Colorado either. We keep our players off those rapids like you and Gabe and Howard went down. Can I call your dad Howard?
Sure, why not? You don't
Okay.
have- Matt calls him my pops.
Call it Dr. Elson.
Doesn't have to be the Dr. Elson thing. No, you can just go with Howard. We're all on a very first name basis, very informal here.
Good.
He was telling me, I got to meet him, Clay. He was telling me about his drama club, and then he was telling me about his pitching still, that he still plays. Like his eyes lit up when he was telling me about his activities. He goes,
Yeah, do you think he would be upset if he was throwing to me if I laid one down the third baseline, made him run?
I don't know if he would run after it,
Make
Clay. I think if you laid down a bunt,
73-year-olds,
you
yeah.
lay down a successful bunt against a 77-year-old, you can basically just tiptoe to first base.
The third baseman is 62, so is he.
He might be a little spry.
He's a wiry third baseman.
I joked with Dad about this too because we're on this trip in the Grand Canyon. We're with like 18 other strangers, so that's 18 opportunities to tell your life story. Which I had to tell him, like, I love that you pitch now. I really do love that, and I'm winking at him when I say this. I don't know really if you're doing pitching as much as it's just controlled falling. Because that's kind of what it looks like sometimes. It's just,
he's throwing BP is what he's doing.
Well, it's BP that might get smoked by somebody else, but by another 75-year-old, hey, that's some gas.
Is he in an over 70 league, or is there
He plays, I think they call it Masters baseball. Anytime they throw the word Masters out there, you're old. They just don't want to call you a senior citizen. So it's not a league necessarily, but there are two organizations that put on national tournaments. One's called Roy Hobbs. The other's called Men's Senior Baseball. There's a tournament in Arizona, tournament in Tampa, and he goes to that every October and November, and it's basically the thing he cares about the most. Outside of my mom, who has her birthday today, so he's not worried about baseball. He's just worried about making sure she's happy on her birthday.
That's what you're supposed to do. Yep. Well, hey, I have resisted the temptation to getting in the batting cage. Bubba tried to get me in the batting cage at his facility a couple of years ago, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that. He goes, I'd take a swing. I said, it will hurt. I know it'll hurt. It may not hurt today, but it'll hurt tomorrow, and I don't really want to do it.
That's right. Yeah, it hurts the moment that you drop the bat and realize those are muscles you hadn't used in a while.
I hadn't used them in years, or ever had them.
It's like I took my daughter, Sadie wants to start learning how to golf. I'm not the person to teach her, that's for sure, but we can go to the driving range. And, man, there are muscles you don't use in just about anything outside of driving a golf ball, which I maybe have done one other day this year. So I could feel those muscles the next day. That's right. It's almost like nobody writes anything with handwriting anymore. You try to I finally write a lineup in my scorebook on day one of the baseball season. Man, I can feel that the rest of the day. You don't really write anything very much anymore.
You're talking about painting the fingers from writing?
That's right. Just like, what's going on here with these fingers? I haven't used these for anything except touching, a button or a screen. That's just about it. Used to joke about trying to do Pac-Man exercises. Now we got to remind ourselves how to do real old-fashioned handwriting. Well, here's a surprise. I got to let you know. This was a topic going into the segment. Was Charlie going to call during his normal, usual hour of the day?
Now.
The tuna hour, which is the first segment of hour number 2 of halftime on a Monday through Friday basis. Called in Monday, didn't go so well. He did not call in yesterday. Charlie is here with us today. So Charlie on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, it is great to hear from you today. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. As Clay said yesterday, I heard exactly what he said. He's the reason I'm calling in today. I wasn't going to call, but he was like, we all make mistakes, and I agree. And look, out of character Monday, and I apologize, but we move on from it. And
you got to get back on that horse, Charlie.
You know it. That's what I'm saying. I'm getting right back on it. But there's a lot of things going on in my life right now that are outside of this that I don't necessarily want to bring up on here. And I'm not blaming that on Monday. I'm just saying that, it just, I don't know. It was stupid and it is what it is and you move on. And that's what I'm going to do. I felt really bad about it just because, it's you, Phil, and this is your show. But anyway.
Charlie, it was, I'd sent you, you're
I know
good
you
with
did.
me and everybody that's here and it's all good. It's just, I'd also, what it tells me is you want to get Charlie worked up. You bring up the Cowboys.
Hey,
He figured out your button, Charlie.
Right.
In person, man, we could have some great conversations about this stuff. And it does get a little personal to me when it comes to the Cowboys, but it does with the Razorbacks too, because I love them. I mean, at the end of the day, whether you love them, and maybe I say things I don't mean or I shouldn't say, but at the end of the day, you do get tired of certain things happening over and over. And in the case of Dallas, it's Jerry and what he does, and it's ridiculous. But I will say this: you guys have talked about it. Matt was talking about how he was on the player's side, and so am I. I think I was bringing up something you said the other day, Phil. I think Micah doing that whole 3-page thing, that had to be because I think Micah's a really intelligent guy, and a lot of people don't realize this about him with his ability. He's a social media guy. He's got his podcast and all that. Do you think with him, I think the reason he did this because let's be real, we all know right now the Cowboys kind of hold the leverage, and I think it was an attempt for Micah to, in a way, get the media turned against him, get the fans turned against Jerry because, okay, you've been going at my character. Let's be honest, Jerry and Steven have said some pretty nasty things about Micah. We're talking about a kid who's never been in trouble with the law. He's been available, as you said. He's only missed 4 games in his career, and he is up there with Reggie White. I think him and Reggie White are in their first 4 years of their career, they've got the most sacks in NFL history. I think Micah is a little bit behind him. So, and now I think what Micah got tired of was the personal shots. There's another thing when you're negotiating, but when you're taking the personal shots, I think that's where Micah and his agent are like, you know what, we're going to put this really out there and fire back. And I respect him for it because at some point somebody's got to stand up for themselves. And the Cowboys, they hold all the leverage, but if Micah starts missing games and the Cowboys get whipped a couple times, then we'll see what happens. Because I'm telling you right now, even Jerry said it today or yesterday, I think he misses some games because he's not playing. And, I think that's what's going to happen. And before I go, it was really interesting listening to Monte Harrison talk the other day. Did you guys hear that presser with the receivers?
Yeah, loved listening.
Man, he had some. Man, what do you think that is in the locker room, Matt? Think back to when you were 18 or 19, and you got a 30-year-old former professional baseball player in there. How cool do you think that is for the kids? Just to have that. I mean, even if, let's just say he plays and does some good things this year, but I mean, just to pick his brain on life and everything, how cool do you think that is for those young kids? Anyways, I'll hang up and listen. Y'all have a good one.
See you, Charlie.
Yeah, you want to hear him talk, and I love the way he spoke, Phil and Clay. I could see him being a coach after this. Like, I really could, just the way he was going about it, and it seemed like, you ask him a question, and he doesn't just start talking. He thinks about it, then elaborates on it.
I think the idea of you have somebody that has reached the highest level of a specific sport. So this is somebody that takes an amazing mindset, control of your emotions. And it wasn't like he shot right up to the big leagues. It took a few years for Harrison to get there. So I think he went through the rigors and the grind of what it was like to be a minor league ball player before. And it's not like he's stuck in the big leagues for a long time, but he got there. And that says something, and I saw it. This wouldn't be transitioning sports, but I saw guys that were in their early 20s. When there was a major leaguer that was trying to fight his way back to the big leagues, that was either signed to AA or AAA, a lot of times they would take advantage of that and pick that guy's brain. So, I don't know if it's a matter of for Monte that everybody can pick his brain around the locker room because that's a lot of people. But it certainly sounds like everybody in that position group is maybe looking at him that way.
Well, how could you not? I mean, it's his story is, he's the only teammate that has a Wikipedia page that's more than one sentence long. I mean, he's got. You have to scroll a little while to get through all of his, and his. You can search on YouTube and see high school basketball video of him dunking. There's a guy standing in the lane and he jumps over him and dunks. I mean, it's like nobody else has that kind of a YouTube page. So yeah, you're going to listen to somebody that speaks with that kind of wisdom, and he's also a good person. And let's don't minimize that. I did an interview this morning with Zach Cox. He's going into the Hall of Honor. Good person. Those are the people you want in your locker room if you're a coach.
877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Hotline. The Micah Parsons thing also comes off a little, and I realized this, that they can franchise him starting 2026. So, I mean, you're looking at
2 years they can.
They know
Absolutely.
that. They know that. He knows it too, yeah.
So you're looking at Garrett and Watt each making over $40 million, and then Parsons is staring, I think he's making 24 now. $26.5 million is what the franchise tag would be projected to cost the Cowboys for next year. So, I mean, it's $16 million difference.
When you get franchised. So no matter what happens.
It's not all bad, yeah.
Well, that obviously is a big issue, too. So you figure if they trade him, whoever it is that's trading for him is signing him to a long-term deal that does not include the franchise tag. I still don't think Dallas is going to be trading Micah Parsons anytime soon. All right, let's break on halftime. Much more to get to in just a moment. You can call or text on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963. Have you checked out Rowback.com yet? Rowback.com features the most beautiful polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and more in the American Summer Collection at Rowback.com. Golfers love the Rowback Delta pants and shorts. I love the Razorback collection. They've got officially licensed at Rowback.com. You can get 20% off your first order entering the code RUSH25 at checkout. RHOBACK.com, Rowback.com. Rowback's where action meets comfort. And more halftime right after this break.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Choose your escape. Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. Take a luxurious dip with the $5 Classic box. Indulge in a lavish meal with the $7 Supreme box. Or explore new worlds with the $9 Discovery box, now featuring the crispy chicken burrito for a truly unmissable experience.
Is that Tony Hawk?
Get Lux for less, only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Roback's got the gear for your perfect summer days.
Coast summers living on the run. Now the beachfront nights, fireflies and thunderstorms. Won't you kiss me, darling? Tell me that you're gonna stay. Yeah. Give me those East Coast summers, Maryland to Maine. Now the seaside.
Shop polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and much more in the American Summer Collection at Roback.com.
Roback made finding the perfect pair of pants or shorts much easier. They're a clean fit with comfortable premium fabric. They look great on and off the golf course. So shop at Roback.com for the Delta pants and shorts.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
Hey, it's Colton Little. Been trying to kill a little bit of time at work, so I logged on to MyBookie, and as the clock has ticked by, I've already made money, and I've already had a good time. They've got tons of great stuff on there. I'm talking about blackjack, roulette, live dealers, poker, and a full lineup of slots. They didn't make me download an app. All I had to do was just log in, made a quick deposit, and then I was playing games and winning money. If you're thinking about checking out MyBookie, you should have done it yesterday. Use the promo code HOGS and they'll toss you a nice deposit match of up to $1,000. And now you can bet on the Hogs all season long with MyBookie.
Gain, a decreased libido, or even battling depression, you don't have to feel this way any longer. Hi, this is Stephen Pittman, a licensed nurse practitioner and expert on testosterone replacement therapy. At Pittman TRT in Fort Smith, our priority is to restore your vitality and energy the way you felt in your 20s. No need to drive an hour or more.
Call Pittman TRT today at 479-274-1747 or check them out online at pittmantrt.com. Pittman TRT. Get back to feeling like your old self again.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
I'm smoking on, bro. I grow my heart. Oh my God, turn into my pride. I love my home. Oh my God, smoking all my pride.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Clay had alerted me to a Facebook post made by Mary Mann, who is Mike Irwin's wife. Mike is in the hospital currently. An issue in his small intestines that they're hoping to not need surgery. Going to wait about a day or so and may have to undergo surgery after 24 hours. So I know he's in a lot of pain. And right now, Mike, we're thinking of you. Hope everything works out. And hey, that's one of our guys. So appreciate you sending the news along too, Clay. I would not have known this.
Saw Mike a few weeks ago. I was out trying out a new driver at Paradise Valley, and he was out there playing golf all by himself. Typically, he was muttering. He hit a bad shot, and you could hear something kind of coming from that direction. There wasn't anybody else but him, so I knew it was him.
Golfing alone.
Yeah, and talking to yourself. Mike does talk to himself some.
Well,
and he talks to everybody else, too.
I have a running conversation with myself all throughout the day.
You do?
I think there are a lot of people. It's not like I'm not talking to myself. It's just going on in my head. It's pretty much the thing I've got going on all day long.
Don't you figure Charlie talks to himself too?
Yeah, but I think he does it while he's on the phone. He might not call himself.
He goes third person. Yeah.
Yeah, could be that. Could be that just a little bit. I've golfed alone once. I don't know. It felt more frustrating than if I could actually share the frustration with another 3 people or something. It's
but you can throw down another ball and just the one that went in the woods. I don't even go look for it. I don't want anybody to know I hit it in the woods.
I'm bad enough at golf that anybody I'm with is not going to care anyway. It's not going. I'm never going to come anywhere close to like competing with anyone that I might golf with. You golf, Matt. You don't do it alone, right? And I know you like solitude, but maybe not on the golf course.
I like it by myself.
Yeah, when I was younger, I'd definitely go out there and play 36 a day. I'd be by myself. Now it's camaraderie, fellowship,
Social experience.
I don't take it as serious. Used to, I was a 7 handicap and was really trying to think I'm going to be on the senior tour. I'm going to be Monte Harrison. I'm going to compete, and later on, I'm going to have another life. But then you realize how good those dudes are, and you got a couple buddies that you go play with, you listen to some music, you tell stories, and then that's, it's the no drama club. When it with the guys I golf with, it's, hey, you got drama, you can leave it over there. We're going to hang out for a little bit, and that's about it.
Have a beverage, just chill. Yeah. Well, I play sometime by myself, and I'll play 2 balls and goof off.
That's fun to do a 2-man scramble and see if you can't. Usually you're going to shoot 7 strokes better if you do a 2-man scramble.
7's about right.
Yeah.
But if you do a 1-man scramble and create it for you competing against yourself, now you're playing Monte Harrison golf, competing with yourself at practice on a daily basis. There you go.
That's what he said. Yeah.
This could work. This could
you
definitely
have
work.
standards. Play up to the standards. That's what you're doing when you're competing against yourself. I have personal standards. It's like I'm doing a radio show. I want to hit my standards. It's like, I've done shows with other people, and I'm found my happy spot with Phil and Matt. Some of the other people I've done shows with, it's hard to soar like an eagle when you're around turkeys all day.
Wow.
Reggie Miller used to say, it's hard to soar like an eagle when you're out with the night owls all night.
No, same thing. Yeah.
I think I might be an angry blue jay, just sort of chirping at you guys every once in a while. But if I'm golfing by myself, who's gonna laugh at all my self-deprecating jokes? Because that's the only reason I would go golf with anybody anyways, to make fun of myself. Because if I'm not, then I'm just cursing at myself, which means I went to the golf course with expectations to perform well, and that's never going to happen in a million years. You could have Bart on Chuck and Bo claim he could break 100 at Oakmont. Fine. You could have Ty. He will live on that hole in one for the remainder of his life, and he continues to get better at it, I'm sure. Me, I'm never going to get any better at this thing, except the jokes will continue to get better if I ever golf with somebody. If I'm by myself, you can't laugh at your own jokes. That's just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it's like when Arnold Palmer was a guest of Johnny Carson. Johnny's like, do you have any tips on golf? And he goes, I think you should take 2 weeks off and then retire.
Carson was a golfer, though. He had that first commercial after his monologue. He sends you away with his golf swing.
He did.
Every time.
He did. Yep, he did. Yeah.
Take 2 weeks off and then retire.
I think I might be ready to do that by the end of the football season, huh? 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Hotline. Want to remind you about Bet Sarazen. You got the Bet Sarazen app on your phone right now. Bet Sarazen works on your iPhone. Download from the App Store. Works on your Android. Just go to Google Play. Web browsers as well. BetSarazen.com. Got great preseason prop bets on Arkansas football, win totals, yardage totals for some of the guys that are going to be out there. And, man, it's all right there. College football preseason, got NFL preseason games coming up, and you got those also on Bet Sarazen. Major League Baseball in full swing. Sports are picking up, so make sure you're picking up your Bet Sarazen app. But also got to be inside the state borders of Arkansas to use Bet Sarazen. We're back with more Halftime right after this break.
His mama named him Clay. I'm going to call him Clay.
This is Halftime.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Mango like candy.
This is Halftime.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
This is Pastor Brad Luter with Grand Avenue Baptist Church. For all of our HVAC and plumbing needs, we call 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
That's Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning for all of your heating, cooling, plumbing, and drain cleaning needs and great York Home products. It's just one number you need to know, 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
The difference between an average morning and a Hardee's morning is hearty goodness that lasts till lunchtime. Like Hardee's smoked sausage biscuit. Split Hillshire Farm smoked sausage on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. And our Frisco breakfast sandwich with cherrywood smoked bacon or ham on toasted sourdough. Hardee's, goodness in the making. Download the app and join my rewards for special offers. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Something good. Oh, something good. Oh, something good. Oh, something good tonight. Make me forget about you, no. Get high, get the floor, get low, get low. At the door, let's go out of your mind, let's go. But something good. Oh, something good. Oh, good tonight, make me forget about you.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend, Matt Jones.
Saturday, new tight end Rohan Jones was in front of the media talking about a team-building exercise that the tight ends were brought to, as Morgan Turner, tight ends coach, had them at a go-kart track, which I think is the K1 track in Rogers. I'm not sure if you usually expect to hear this.
Yeah, that go-kart activity was not fun. I was puking. I was trying to go a little bit too fast, but
That was the big one in Bentonville, the fast one.
Yeah.
So he had so much fun he lost his lunch at the I think it's called X1 in Rogers. Looks like a lot of fun indoor go-kart racing. But if you're looking at tight ends here, and we got into this a little bit in the first hour, Clay, the first 4 years with Sam Pittman as the head coach, and you had Kendall Briles and Dan Enos as the offensive coordinators, tight ends caught an average of 2 balls per game. That's all. 99 catches, 48 games, scored just 11 touchdowns. Bobby Petrino utilizes the tight ends. In his time at Louisville, they averaged, the second time at Louisville, about 3.5 catches per game and 33 touchdowns in 64 games. You got back to using the tight end a little bit last year. Not as much as you'd like to see, and I don't think as much as Petrino would like to see. So 2 receptions per game, probably not enough. You got a little bit more than that last year. Like to see something a little bit more like over 3 per game potentially.
I'm going to say this, and it's the old poor workers find fault with their tools story. It's like, if you don't have tight ends, it's hard to throw to the tight ends. I mean, and if the quarterback is firing out of the pocket because there's somebody running right up the gut, it's hard to see the tight end in the middle of the field. So there were, I hesitate in saying this because poor workers find fault with their tools. Their tools were not a good enough offensive line to give the tight ends time to get open, not enough protection to find them. And they also kept the tight ends in for protection quite a bit. So if they're not running out for a pass, it's kind of hard to throw it to them. But I think Bobby is really good at using what he has. And they needed to go out and get some more tight ends. And you're not a tight end if you're not a good blocker. If you can't block, then they don't have to play the run when you're in the game. And if you can't run patterns, they don't have to play the pass if you're in the game. So they had to get tight ends that can block and can run routes. There's, you can't be one or the other. You got to be both to play that position well.
And it felt like you had, with Pashka, I think he was definitely more blocker, though he turned into more of a pass catcher in the bowl game. And with Haz, Washington, Gums, pass catchers, not necessarily great at blocking in most cases. So you just the hope that there's more of a full rounded tight end with Rohan Jones, Jaden Platt, and Pashka. And I think Pashka, Pashka blocked all right last year. He didn't catch very much
when he was healthy. Yeah,
he came to the Liberty Bowl.
I think that you'll see the tight end be a factor in what they do, and I mean that's Bobby's plan. But it's, again, you feed the studs. I think that if their pass protection is better, that gives the tight ends more of a chance. And if the tight ends can block, they're going to have – I mean, the guy that's covering the tight end, first thing he has to do is make sure it's not a run play. And I just saw the practices that I saw in the spring, the tight ends seemed like they were involved. And it looked like quarterbacks were finding them. So that just comes down to get the protection now.
And in terms of who we heard yesterday, when it came to the defensive backs, Julian Neal, Kenai Walker, guys that have had a lot of experience. Walker at Oklahoma, Neal at Florida State. You got experience with Jaheim Singletary, a little bit with Selman Bridges. There's a couple others at corner. But I think, how does it feel? Does corner feel wide open? Because you're starting to see maybe the idea of Omega Blake, Raylan Sharp, Monte Harrison, potentially Shanks being the guys that are starting or getting most of the snaps to begin the season. Maybe Jordan at wide receiver. At cornerback, I'm not quite sure. It feels like it might be a little bit more open.
I think that's right. And I think that you're in a time where let's just be honest. Cornerbacks are little guys. I mean, these are bigger corners, but they're still little guys that they've got to make tackles, and their body takes a beating. You'll need all of them. They're not going to make it through the season with two. So I think that what you see, the depth is really going to be a factor. They've got bigger guys that are going to play the run, and they can move. I think that's a position that allows blitzing. If you're good at corner and your corners can walk up and be physical at the line of scrimmage and cut off that slant, then you can blitz because the easy, quick throw is taken away. And that's what I want to see. I mean, I think Travis Williams wants to blitz. He wants to get in zero coverage, and he wants to come after you. But if your corners can't take away the slant, then it's going to be no bueno, no good. So, I like where they're at with corners because that seems to be every time that you hear Sam Pittman, he talks favorably about those guys and thinks they're improved. And I think that'll be a big part of if this defense is successful, if those guys can walk up and play a little press coverage and use their bodies and their size and their arms to slow down some of those little screen passes and things they do with the wide receiver. That wide receiver screen game is the basic play for about 6 or 7 teams they play. If you can't stop that, they'll just walk it right down the field, 5 yards, 7 yards, 8 yards, 12 yards. Not, you have
it's always a check. Like even back when I played, Clay, like if he's off of your guy, it's just a quick alert check. Yeah. And you take what the defense gives you.
But I think that they have the ability to take that away. And that's Steve Sarkisian's favorite play. They did that. They took that away in that game, and that was one of the reasons they kept Texas in check until the fourth quarter.
I think of the LSU game last year. They were trying to take away the deep ball. Ended up getting, I don't know if it was checked down to death, but it was short, medium passes.
Yeah,
all game long.
Yeah, they just dink and dunked you all the way down.
877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Hotline. Clay, you brought up the idea of the secondary maybe potentially being involved in the blitzes a little bit more. Here's Coach Perry on exactly that.
No, at all. There's no bigger, respect than when the play caller can call a blitz and he has confidence in our secondary. We want to be aggressive. We want to be, bring the fight to them. We want to get in their faces and we want to challenge and contest everything. And that's something that we're going to bring to the table. And I believe we have the guys that can do that. So, yes, attacking, blitzing, anything that the play caller wants to do, we're ready for it.
Well, hopefully you got the right kind of personnel to pull this off. If I'm thinking in the secondary, and I don't think he was up in front of them yesterday, Larry Worth, first year that he's actually just going to be playing in the secondary. And Sam Pittman hit on, I think, his first session of August camp, the idea that we figured out where to play him. It took last year about half the season to figure out where they wanted to play him, and I thought he flashed at safety. That's somebody that I'd like to see come free, coming from the outside potentially because he's got some size and it looked like he could run too.
Well, he's a good tackler, and that gives you the ability to play him in a lot of different roles. And when you say he's just in the secondary, that's a little bit of a misnomer because they're going to play him at nickel and they're going to play him in some where you've got an extra safety in the line of scrimmage. You're going to walk him down, and you have to account for him. You got to look out there and see where he's at, and then he's going to play games. He's going to move at the snap and give the quarterback a false read. You think he's in the box, he's really not, and then sometimes he's not in the box, but he really is. And so it's not all of the pictures you get pre-snap are accurate, and that's Larry Worth will be a big piece to that puzzle, moving him around and doing different things with him because he has the versatility both in the way he can run and the way he can physically take on blockers.
Man, 6'4", 226.
Big dude.
Yeah, at the safety
but he's
position.
got ability too, yeah.
He's about the same size coming in at linebacker last year. And then, he still had the LB there on last year's roster page. So switching over to that, you got Jordan Young coming in out of Cincinnati, cornerback, 6', 198. Scandrett, safety out of Eastern Michigan, probably get a lot of playing time. 6'3", 210.
Big.
Singletary is 6'2", 201. He's
Big.
talking about putting on 11 pounds. Kanai Walker's 6'2", 204.
Big.
Miguel Mitchell, maybe one of the starting safeties, 6'1", 222.
Big.
Sam's talked about Shakur Smalls, who's transferred in from Maine at cornerback, 6 foot 209. Caleb Wooden, I mean, it's not 200, but he's 6'1", 195. Julian Neal, a cornerback, 6'2", 208. Man, you're really looking at
That's
these.
huge. Yeah.
You got some big cornerbacks here, Matt. These are tall and big, and they've also talked about having the right kind of speed. At least the coaches have talked about not just big, but they've got speed to go along with it. Now I hope it translates to actually once you play Arkansas State and Ole Miss.
Who's the kid we lost 2 years ago that ended up making Minnesota Vikings team? You know, he was a long range.
McLaughlin?
Yeah, see, we didn't have a guy like McLaughlin last year. That's what you're looking for, somebody that can kind of keep him at arm's length and that is uber athletic. I thought we missed a guy like McLaughlin last year.
Well, he was really a good player and was somebody that took away half the field. It's like we're going to man up there, and they're going to look away from his side because they know that it's not going to be open. And that's
didn't he come
that's
in
what
from
you
Georgia?
want.
Wasn't he a Georgia at first?
McLaughlin was LSU.
That's what it was. That's right. That's right. It was that's why I was expecting that Jaheim Singletary would pop at some point, because somebody that played at Georgia is a specific kind of athlete. You know, it's the same thing
Correct.
when you watch that Drew Sanders comes over from Alabama. I haven't really got a chance to watch this guy play very much, but if Nick Saban was interested in this kid to sign him, he probably can make some noise here at Arkansas. I thought the same thing about Singletary, and hopefully this is the year that that comes out.
When you say he was recruited by Georgia, he was recruited by Alabama, he was recruited by LSU, or he, actually signed and played there briefly, well, then they got speed, because that's the first thing that's the first disqualifier at those schools, is that if you don't have elite speed, they're not interested. And that's what makes them, 5 stars, 4 stars. And these guys, I think, can run. They need an opportunity, and sometimes you get in, it's a log jam at one position, and you don't, and they bring in 3 more the next year, and so you need to go find some place to play. These guys can tackle. Their numbers, number of tackles, they don't shy away from getting involved in the run game. I don't know what kind of defense this is going to be, but I like their defensive tackles and I like their cornerbacks, and that's a start. I wish they had a little more experience in, would say, signs that they're going to be able to rush the passer. That's the one area that I see that I wish they were a little better at, that they can. And who knows? They've got some young players. They just hadn't done it in games, and they look good in their gym classes, their off-season workouts. But we'll see if they'll sick them and go make a play.
Hey, Seaburger, how'd it go yesterday at Hardee's in Sallisaw? You get any qualifiers for the Monster Burger eating contest?
Yeah, we had a guy from Missouri stop by. He was working in the area, and he got it, the first ever from Sallisaw to qualify.
Wow, how about that?
At the Sallisaw location.
Monster Burger eating contest is the 20th year in a row, brought to you by Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and HitThatLine.com. Tickets to see the Raiders and the Cowboys in Vegas in November. And one winner gets these tickets. But first, you got to qualify for the championship round. And there's another qualifying round tomorrow at Hardee's on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. It's all brought to you by Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and HitThatLine.com. While you're there tomorrow, by the way, enjoy a Monster Burger for only $3.50. Offers good at Fort Smith locations and in Sallisaw, brought to you by Hardee's. Let's take a break. We're back to wrap up hour number 2 of Halftime in just a moment.
We couldn't do diddly poo offensively.
This is Halftime.
Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Sallisaw.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and Zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Hi, this is Pruitt Tollett with WT Equipment. When it's hay season, you need equipment that works as hard as you do. Vermeer Forge tools, from mowers to balers, are built tough to perform in the field and backed by support you can count on. At WT Equipment, we help you get the right Vermeer tools to keep them running strong. Come by and see us at our 8 locations or visit us online, WTEquip.com. Vermeer, because your hay doesn't wait.
Whether you're building a single roof or a successful roofing business, roofing contractors like you need the right tools for the job, and software is no exception. Service Titan is on a mission to be the most powerful software platform for the trades, with purpose-built technology proven to maximize revenue, streamline operations, and deliver 5-star customer experiences. We are taking roofing companies like yours to the next level and beyond. Service Titan, we are built for this. See what we can do for roofers at servicetitan.com.
Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads, race car bobbleheads, little chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
What do Formula One, the Peanuts cartoon strip, and Jay Leno all have in common with Crabtree RV Center? Yes, you guessed it. They are all celebrating 75 in 2025. Crabtree RV Center is so thrilled to have seen 75 wonderful years of business in the River Valley, and we want to celebrate with all of you. Come in today and take advantage of our 75-year anniversary sale going on every day at Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas. Crabtree RV Center is your one-stop shop for sales, service, parts, and rentals. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for 75 years.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Your ask it won't be long. I've been waiting for this for so long. I love the way you walk, talk to me. It's like everything I've ever dreamed of, baby.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
All right, I think I found something that I would really not like to try here, even though I like ketchup, but I'm not somebody that has to have it. I know some people are just ketchup enthusiasts. They'll put it on anything. How do you, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston, and Clay Henry feel about a partnership that The Heinz Company and Smoothie King have come together
No.
to make a tomato ketchup smoothie. Available today for a limited time. It'll probably be a very limited time. Heinz Simple Ketchup blended with acai sorbet, apple juice, strawberries, and raspberries. Not going to be something that I purchase, but I'm also not going to be buying like a Miracle Whip smoothie or a ranch dressing smoothie or a mustard smoothie either.
I think it's just so they can put that there's, just so they can advertise the ketchup. I don't even think it's necessary. It's not.
Maybe a Bloody Mary.
I mean, I could do a Bloody Mary smoothie.
That's
but
what I'm getting at.
It's
Yeah.
just not going to have that much ketchup in it at all. Or I mean, maybe
Well,
put
it's
a
got
little
some
bit of thick in
V8.
it.
Doesn't it have some V8 or something?
V8 I can do. V8, no, I'm not going to do a V8 smoothie. But if it's a fruit, I mean, all these other things that are going into it are a fruit too. Christian, did you tell me a couple of days ago you just finally realized the first time that a tomato is a fruit? Or
It was
did
a
you know
couple
this?
years ago that I realized a tomato was actually a fruit.
See, Gavin says this sounds like a frozen V8. There's a difference, though. V8 is a bunch of blended vegetables together. This is ketchup.
Ketchup, yeah, it's definitely different.
This is ketchup, like blended in with other berries. So the ketchup has the sugar in it. There's no other sugar that's put in this other than, I guess, the apple juice. I don't know. Just comes off as kind of gross. It just made just for the simple
It
ketchup
seems like it's a
enthusiast.
waste of a good smoothie.
Yeah, it would be a waste of $6.99. Pretty much is what it comes down to.
Oh, that's how much it costs?
But then, Ty could put that on a steak. Well, who's ever had a steak and a smoothie together? Well, if you have a ketchup smoothie, maybe you can have an A1 smoothie. That works better.
There's like a pickle slush at Sonic, and that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, those are selling though. Pickles are
I don't
a big
understand
deal.
that.
I see. You got like cheese balls. I see pickle balls too, which actually sounds like it's more of a really painful medical condition.
It'll get you in the hospital every time.
Yeah, it really would. Really would. Wes has had mustard soda. Now, see, the flavors, the various flavors of mustard, I could see. If you get like a honey mustard, you could try like a honey mustardish sort of a soda. I've seen mustard ice cream work. I don't know about ketchup ice cream, Put it on a hot dog, though. You go up to Wiener Circle in Chicago and ask them for a ketchup, like a ketchup smoothie. They're going to tell you where you can stick that ketchup smoothie. Literally, they will do that. We're moving into hour number 3. No guests, you and us. Lewis Automotive Hotline is 877-377-6963. I'll be back in a moment. Going to just go take a look at all the condiments in the refrigerator.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, Ty Richardson for JamMart. JamMart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. JamMart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero JamMart locations. JamMart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
Fill her up, please.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
Paid for by Steelman Pills. 800-993-1327. 800-993-1327. 800-993-1327. That's 800-993-1327.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. A high this afternoon will be into the lower 90s, mainly clear sky, upper 60s to near 70 overnight. Thursday, a bounty of sunshine, a high right around 95. We should be in the mid-90s on Friday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050. Cop CDL Academy, expanding horizons.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 24 days. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that would respect you. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Well, can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
But they were one Razorback.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Back on halftime, hour number 3, 1:01 in the afternoon. This is ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com, the Hit That Line Now app. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston, Hall of Famer Clay Henry with us, and no guests coming up over the next hour. You and us, 877-377-6963, in order to join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Thoughts on the ketchup smoothie from Scott and Harrison. Things, hollow out a pickle. Make sure it's a Clausen. Throw in cheese and bacon wrap and rub on the outside and smoke it. Hey, that sounds pretty good. Not bad. Then I'm reminded about remember the hot dog straw? Matt, you remember that guy in the Yankee Stadium? Was it 2 years ago? He actually hollowed out the hot dog with his straw and then drank the beer through the hot dog.
When you get a michelada, what is that straw they do? It's almost kind of like that. When you go to a Mexican joint and get a michelada, it's almost something. It's so there's so much salt in it. It's just too salty.
Can you ask for the low sodium one? I don't know if they even make a low sodium michelada.
I think they would look at you kind of funny.
So I had a great professor, Elin Harris, the late great Elin Harris.
Oh, I love me some Elin Harris.
Yeah, he was a writer, and so I did a cartoon book called Oh Rodney, and we had about 3 episodes.
I've heard about old Rodney.
So one of our episodes is no ketchup on the ketchup sandwich. So it's so funny that it's about a ketchup thing. It's like no ketchup on the ketchup sandwich. Like that was kind of the theme. You know, it's a 3rd grade book. It's anyways, that's all it makes me think of. No, I don't want a ketchup smoothie.
I worked for a man with the Travelers for my first 9 years there, Bill Valentine. Clay, you remember Bill? Bill had a visceral disgust of ketchup. So you could not bring ketchup into the office. Like if you went down the street and got Wendy's, you had to eat it outside. You couldn't eat it at your desk because if Bill smelled ketchup, you're going to hear about it. And if you hear about something from Bill, you never want to hear about it again.
It would be laced with profanity.
Yeah, if you thought Brian Kelly has some foul language during practice on the first episode of
Charlie,
SEC football, or Charlie with the one word he said on Monday, they would pale in comparison. I mean, Bill would have been the professor of cursing at the University of Arkansas. Anyway, yeah, ketchup would be one way to do that. But he took his visceral disgust of ketchup to everybody at the ballpark because that was the one condiment you couldn't get at a Travelers game until we finally moved to the new park. And they convinced him you could get all of them. You could get ranch, barbecue sauce, and mustard for your hot dog, as if anybody ever put barbecue sauce on a hot dog, but you couldn't get ketchup because the man hated ketchup. Yeah, what's going on with that, Bill? And he would tell you the whole reason why, and it's like, well, you realize the real reason is that you hate ketchup, and God bless anybody that ever brings ketchup into that office.
The Beverly Hills McDonald's, they serve escargot, and it's called mixed slugs.
But no ketchup.
Do you put ketchup on your? Do you
slugs?
put ketchup on your McSlugs?
Absolutely.
They have great dipping sauces for the McNuggets. I'm sure the McSlugs have some great dipping sauces too.
Only in Beverly Hills, though.
And no low sodium for the slugs. Man, I ate escargot first time, age 6. I was pretty hoity-toity for a 6-year-old. I even knew what it was that I was ordering. What? You mean you can eat that? Well, you put enough butter in anything, you can eat anything. That's exactly right. Those escargot have to be swimming in butter because that's about. Let me ask you this. If anybody, Matt, Clay, anybody ever describes to you something that they're eating and describe the flavor as earthy, is that good or bad?
It's definitely bad.
Yeah, earthy.
Disgusting.
Earthy is escargot. Earthy is Rocky Mountain oysters.
Wormy.
Some
worms, I think, taste earthy.
Some
yes.
organic mushrooms,
Yeah, just the unwashed organic mushrooms. Exactly. No, fishy and earthy are totally different things.
It took me there's some definitely some food that is like that. It took me a long time to appreciate. One of them is oysters. Could not do oysters on the half shell for a long, long time. And then I realized you can have, some kind of horseradish dip, that overpowers it, so it doesn't even taste like any. It takes on the taste of the dip, and I could eat oysters. But I mean, I see people, just turn up and slide them down off those shells. No, not me,
dude. I love oysters, but isn't there a rule about months you're not supposed to eat oysters? If it ends in a Y, don't eat oysters that month. I think I've heard this law of eating oysters before, and I probably have never followed it. It's a good thing that I'm still alive in that case. How many months actually end in Y? Is this because you got August and then you got September and then October, and it's officially oyster eating season, boys.
And I don't have a month Rocky Mountain oysters. Never.
There is no Y in a month until 2026. So let's all go out to the oyster bar in Little Rock too. It's a great place to actually do it. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Hotline. And here's Rob, who's called us up from Mountain Home, just moved from the Buckeye State. What's up, Rob? How are you?
I'm doing fine. Fighting this weather off. First year, trying to get used to it. But I wanted to delve in on a conversation that you guys had the other day about Arkansas high school football. And that basically, I don't know if you didn't think the talent was here or if that was it. I didn't get to catch the whole segment. What is the problem? I mean, I think there's
just raw numbers. Just lack of numbers. Small state.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't know because I was going to ask you a question that might have got you in trouble. Like, is it a thing of coaching? Is it a thing of you're just not?
No, it's just raw numbers.
High
yeah.
school?
I mean, you just think about the number of 7A schools in the state of Arkansas, and it's like 14. If you go to a state like Pennsylvania, Ohio, Texas, they've got 14 in towns, not much less states. There's
Rob, the thing that's so odd is that for a small state, and Arkansas is a small state, what do we have, a little more than 3 million?
That our basketball, our NBA guys.
The amount of basketball talent from this
like
state.
Top in the country,
it's
per capita. If you
amazing. Yeah, you compare that to football, and it's just there's a huge disconnect there.
and baseball. I mean, I came down here and I immediately fell in love with Arkansas baseball. I'll be an Arkansas baseball fan the rest of my life. But yeah, I just wanted to talk for a minute about what you guys thought. So, I mean, that thought did come to my head. Maybe it's just sheer numbers. I didn't check the population of the state.
3 million.
Yeah. And I don't know what Ohio is, but I know it's much bigger. But
yeah, a heck of a lot. And and I'm born and raised in Western Pennsylvania in Pittsburgh, and it's a fertile recruiting ground too. I mean, Penn State, Ohio State recruit from there. All across the country does. You think of just the recruiting areas that you're up against just being in Arkansas, right? I mean, there's Texas. You got to recruit Texas, but everybody else is going to recruit Texas too. Oklahoma, they've got a little going in Oklahoma. Georgia, they recruit Georgia too, but Georgia's going to get, the best talent from Georgia. You're up against Alabama, which is a fertile recruiting ground. Florida, as fertile as it gets.
And Texas being in the SEC, they get whoever they want, it seems like.
Yeah. Do you think the NIL money comes into play a lot of it too? I know God only knows how much we paid for our roster last year.
I mean, Texas had about 8 years in a row. They didn't have a first-round draft pick. They didn't have guys getting drafted. Now they're in the SEC. They're getting the best player at each position. Like it's a top recruiting class in the country every year.
Yeah, because even we, we lost a couple of our best kids from Ohio this year. They ended up going to Southern California. So I mean, that's going to end up costing us some kids too. I mean, going to play in Ohio, or are you going to go somewhere where the weather's actually nice all the time and you can still come back home and your family and friends can come and see you play?
Rob, Buckeye fan, being from Ohio, or you got a ton of Division I schools to choose from there, but Ohio State's top of the list.
Yeah, you do have, Ohio State's definitely at the top of the list. We lose kids every year too, though. We lost two of our best kids this year, which is quite unusual. I hope that doesn't become a trend, but again, in this NIL age, you never know, which I'm glad the kids are getting paid. I have no problem with that. I think they got totally taken advantage of for years. So that doesn't bother me a bit.
Rob, it's good to hear from you. I appreciate your phone call. And I know I've gotten into this before. It's like this. For Arkansas football to get to where you want to be, it's sometimes it feels like there has to be generational talent from this state that wants to play for Arkansas. I mean, you've grown up in that era where it felt like the only choice. Like, of course you were going to go play for Arkansas, because where else are you going to go? Generational athletes from the state of Arkansas. And I think most of those kids now are choosing basketball.
Or they
is that fair?
At Warren, and now they're going to be up here. That's right. That's kind of what and you don't want to put that much pressure on a kid, but that's kind of how they're talking about a freshman already. And then you think that quarterback in Greenwood, the number one quarterback in his class, he's going to be a junior in high school, and Arkansas is not even
UCF. He's committed to UCF.
Yeah, not even on the radar.
877-377-6963 to get with us on anything about that. Before we go here on this segment, remember Joe's Grill and Cantina. Big time specials going on at Joe's Grill and Cantina every single day of the week. And on Wednesdays, that special is Nacho Average Wednesday. $1 off all nachos. That includes the 3 cheese carnita nachos. Also get $1 off all beers, draft, or bottles. That's dine-in only at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Get a look at the menu at joesfortsmith.com or visit them at 3400 South 74th in Fort Smith. Back with more halftime after this quick break.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Choose your escape. Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. Take a luxurious dip with the $5 Classic box. Indulge in a lavish meal with the $7 Supreme box. Or explore new worlds with the $9 Discovery box, now featuring the crispy chicken burrito for a truly unmissable experience.
Is that Tony Hawk?
Get Lux for less, only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Roback's got the gear for your perfect summer days.
Coast summers living on the run. Now the beachfront nights, 5,000 thunderstorms. Won't you kiss me, darling? Tell me that you're gonna stay. Yeah. Give me those East Coast summers, Maryland to Maine. Now the seaside.
Shop polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and much more in the American Summer Collection at Roback.com.
Roback made finding the perfect pair of pants or shorts much easier. They're a clean fit with comfortable premium fabric. They look great on and off the golf course. So shop at Roback.com for the Delta pants and shorts.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
Hey, it's Colton Little. Been trying to kill a little bit of time at work, so I logged on to MyBookie, and as the clock has ticked by, I've already made money, and I've already had a good time. They've got tons of great stuff on there. I'm talking about blackjack, roulette, live dealers, poker, and a full lineup of slots. They didn't make me download an app. All I had to do was just log in, made a quick deposit, and then I was playing games and winning money. If you're thinking about checking out MyBookie, you should have done it yesterday. Use the promo code HOGS and they'll toss you a nice deposit match of up to $1,000. And now you can bet on the Hogs all season long with MyBookie.
The free Upside app and use promo code $1 for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code $1.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Evening, ain't got nothing to say. In the morning, feeling nothing like I'm tired. But it's time for myself, it baby. You said it's so fire. It's so fire. It's fire.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Springsteen. I know it's not Springsteen we're listening to, but that's a Springsteen song. But who's singing this? B.E. wants to know. I want to know. Who is that?
Cannons.
They sound good.
Yeah, they do. They sound Bruce wishes he could do anything that the Cannons do. That's for sure.
Maybe at some point we get the Pointer
Born
Sisters
in the
Fire.
USA.
That's great. He's doing a really good Bruce there.
Oh, please don't ever make this. Like, don't play Bruce.
I just want to get you to sing a little bit more often here on the show.
I got marbles in my throat.
Didn't he write Radar Love? Did he write Radar Love? And I know he wrote Fire by the Pointer Sisters. Maybe we can get those two on at some point, but just not his actual voice. I see where you're going, where the voices you don't like. They got that guttural kind of almost forced feeling.
Eddie Vedder, same thing.
Yeah.
It's like, grow up.
Dude, Bruce has a great band. You have to admit that.
I'm not. Hey, he's uber talented, Clay. Yes, I'm not knocking the guy that he's not talented.
East
and does
Street,
his thing.
isn't that the name of it? The East Street Band.
I'll just listen to George Strait and the Ace and the whole band.
No question, you can't go wrong. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to be on the road Monday. I might listen to 10 hours of George Strait Monday.
I always like Steven Van Zandt, though. East Street Band, Tony's right-hand man in The Sopranos. Just had that look to him. Maybe we could just get him for, what was he? Was he a drummer? Is he a drummer? Is that what he was?
Maybe.
No, guitar and mandolin. That's what it is. I was going to say give him a drum solo, but no, give him a guitar solo. We'll be okay with that here. Matt, there was something banned by the NFL yesterday, and George Kittle talked about it on the NFL Network.
George, hello, friend. How are you?
I honestly just came up here to air a grievance.
Oh.
Our team got a memo today that smelling salts and ammonia packets were made illegal in the NFL.
Wow.
And I've been distraught all day.
Illegal? He even said he's not practicing anymore.
I considered retirement.
Yeah. So they go ahead and bring that back for George Kittle. If
Yeah,
you're hearing
so
this,
we got to figure
Mr.
out
Goodell.
middle ground here, guys.
Yeah.
Somebody help me out. Somebody come up with a good idea.
Send
Fred,
an
it's
email.
on you.
Airing of grievances.
Yeah, that's all I had to get out there. I'll get that off.
Is it every before every drive?
I'm an every drive.
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen guys like that.
I'm an every drive.
In between every play, he's
no, that's too much.
Pulling out the thought.
Too much.
Yeah. Well, it feels like the energy's still out here, though. I mean,
no, definitely. But I missed those already.
Well, they haven't been outlawed at practice.
No, we don't have them out.
Okay, all right, just checking.
That's all right. That was my only grievance. But besides that, you guys look fabulous.
We'll
Fred,
fix it.
It's all yours.
It's not even Festivus. He's airing grievances here on August the 6th, Matt, but no smelling salts in the NFL anymore. I didn't realize guys would use it before every drive, some cases.
I think I might have used it 3 times ever. I was not a fan of them anyways. It's like a sulfur smell that's like, I don't know. But there were definitely guys on the team that before the game, I mean, I'm ready to go. It doesn't matter. I don't need any extra.
Ammonia?
I'm ready to go.
Well, I was looking at the ingredients for smelling salts. Ammonium carbonate, which is the primary compound, water, ethanol or alcohol, perfumes or essential oils that are supposed to help out that.
Did they give a reason why?
Smell.
Did the NFL, did they say this is why we're banning it? Or did they just say, you know what, I think it's time for a change?
I actually didn't read the reason why. I would hope that there's some sort of reason why they would at least think about doing this. But George Kittle seemed pretty ticked off about it. When you needed
Do you think
them,
he really was, or he was just kind of, faked outrage? I think it was fake outrage. I don't think that was real.
Just something to complain about.
I think he was having fun.
I think he's grandfathered in, kind of like Aaron Rodgers is with his chin strap. I think that George Kittle will still find a way to get his ammonia.
What is somebody going to do? Like, is there going to be smelling salts police the same way that there were the dreaded tobacco police? They used to they would patrol minor league baseball parks and go through the clubhouses, and people would get fined if they found tobacco in the lockers.
What about having Kobe Suggs just slap you as you come out of the bullpen? They're going to outlaw that too, right?
That's right. Yeah, because they don't want kids emulating it.
Matt Cronin is like, just slap me right in the face, and he did. A big dude. Kobe Suggs is a big dude. Played football.
Gosh, and he had some meat hooks for hands too. Big old
slap
big
me
old
right
hands.
here.
Oh, absolutely. Slap your face. He's really getting your whole head. I don't know why you'd ban this. If it maybe makes people alert, and I don't know if it's a matter of can you pass a concussion test after
might be bad for your heart. Might be bad for your heart.
What did you need it for when it happened? Was it a matter of? I mean, I know you've talked about the idea of maybe how many concussions you may have had in your career, but any hard hit, is that the kind of thing where some guys may utilize it?
They used it to get going at the very beginning of the game.
Start
That's
of the game.
The only time I'd ever used one is somebody else would have one. If it was Cortez Hankton or LeBrandon Toefield, that was something I never seeked out. But they would do it, and then here, and so I'd like it didn't work for me. Like I was like, I'm not into it.
I think for like baseball teams, I think the trainers have that around only if it's necessary. If somebody got knocked out.
Yeah.
Only if it's necessary. And I've seen a couple of cases where, and this is before the new rules were instituted about 10 years ago, but some really wicked collisions at home plate where a guy's down and it's obvious he's down and out. But he was able to, they were able to get him back up without needing the smelling salts. But I think that's what you need use for in baseball. Has to be an idea of, masking, like concussion protocol of some sort. But I also wonder, I'd actually like to get my hands on smelling salts to see how disgusting they smell. So they see the look on the player's face. Because you see, I don't remember who it was that they showed the photo of, but you could see the salts under his nose, and he's making the Willie McGee face. You remember the face that Willie McGee always made. Just always looked like somebody was holding something really pungent and awful under his nose. I just want to see what this smells like once and then never smell it ever again. Maybe I got something in the refrigerator that smells just as bad. I don't know. 877-377-6963. Calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Hotline.
It's almost like a cleaning supply or something. Like if you walked into somebody cleaning something kind of that was real pungent, almost stings the nostrils,
Like walking into a room with Lysol freshly sprayed?
Yeah, we call it Sex Panther. It's,
That's right.
It's banned in 33 countries.
Just not
48% of the time. It works all the time.
And not banned in this country at all. Skyler says the salts are going to light you up. Scott says it masks the head injury protocol. So yeah.
Hey, these players, you know what is never going to change, Phil? They'll do whatever it takes to get into the game. They don't want to come out of the game. What can I do to make sure I can play? That's what they want.
They just need to have those two coffee pots side by side. One that's unleaded, which has caffeine, and the other that's leaded, that has caffeine and basically crushed up greenies.
Yeah.
The crushed up greenies that you would see. I didn't see the actual crushed up greenies, but I did see the coffee that was called leaded coffee. And that would have I might have tasted it once just to see what it felt like. That might have been the most words I've ever said in the first 2 innings of a baseball game. Not made for broadcasters. Neither are smelling salts.
You were your boy. Who's the coach that's on the ACC network now?
Jimbo.
Yeah, you were Jimbo.
You imagine Jimbo on leaded coffee? It would be the Micro Machines man times 500. Nobody in the history of the earth has ever spoken faster than Jimbo Fisher on the leaded coffee. I can't wait for that first game I don't think he's an analyst for a game. I think he's the studio
kind of like what Urban Meyer does for Fox in the Big Ten. Yeah.
Big noon kickoff. Mm-hmm. What do you call it in the ACC? Kind of like smallish 1:30 kickoff? I don't know.
Yeah. No one's there. No one's watching kickoff. So ammonia fumes triggers reaction that sends a jolt of adrenaline through the body while clearing out nasal passages. And
so you get more oxygen. You breathe better, yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so I've heard people say that, that guy just opened my nose got open. That's what it's doing for you.
That's what
open your nose.
So here's a quote from a family medicine physician, Elizabeth Rainbow, told the Cleveland Clinic website, quote, ammonia is an irritant. It irritates your airways and your lungs. When you breathe it in, you reflexively take a really big breath. It does not cause a high, per se, but the rush of oxygen triggers your sympathetic nervous system to take over and can make you feel amped up.
Woo! One of those, right? You get like a very quick Ric Flair immediately.
The Sherpa might have some.
That's a guy that needs no leaded coffee either.
Right.
By the way, putting out an APB on Eddie in Clarksville. It's been a moment since I've heard from him. I'm not worried if I don't hear him calling here on halftime, but I still get texts from him every once in a while, and it's been 3 weeks since Eddie last called. All right, Eddie, are you out there? APB 877-377-6963. Let's break. We'll be back to wrap up. Oh, not wrapping things up. We got the home stretch of halftime coming up in just a moment.
Lighten up, Francis.
This is halftime.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
John, what are you doing? Get in my car. Why are you walking to work?
Thanks, man. It's these insanely high gas prices. They are draining my bank account. I can't afford to drive anymore.
Dude, don't walk. Just do what I do, because I never pay full price for gas anymore. I use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, you're telling me you get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code $1 for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code $1. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code $1 for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code $1.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Now at Hardee's, 2 hand-breaded chicken tender wraps are only $5. Mix and match your favorite flavors like buttermilk ranch, honey mustard, and spicy. Endless combinations start with 2 warm tortillas, each filled with 100% white meat, juicy on the inside, crispy on the outside, hand-breaded chicken tenders. Any 2 wraps, now just $5. Hardee's, goodness in the making. These items only. Price and participation may vary. Tax not included. Visit restaurant for details.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home, quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-551-3241. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-551-3241. That's 800-551-3241.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You tell me it's a message.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Guys, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell was speaking earlier today about the sale of NFL media to ESPN. ESPN I think they're going to be launching this standalone streaming platform very soon before the college football season. That's supposed to be a big game changer. And I think a lot of fans are, I don't know, upset is the word, or just nervous that ESPN will change what Red Zone has been, which is commercial free and starring Scott Hansen and basically nobody else over the course of its time. And maybe that happens, but there can be good things for college football fans, apparently. And Goodell has hinted at the potential launch of, on ESPN, a college football Red Zone product, which we don't have one of those. The only way you can, zoom in on whatever game is going on is if you're YouTube TV and you get the 4 games going on at once and you choose which one you're going to listen to.
How many people do you know? I guess because fantasy sports is huge, it's a big thing. But aren't you really you're a fan of a team and that's really it? Are there other people? Are you a fan of multiple college teams out there? Do you have a B team? Is Arkansas? I wonder what the listener says. Hey, I love Arkansas, but maybe you're an in-plant, or maybe you like somebody you're from some other state and you like another team as well. Because I don't watch any other game unless it's the college football playoff. I watch the Razorbacks play.
Well, I'm not a subscriber to Red Zone, but I do like watching NFL football games. I like to see, close games, and that's what this does. Is it takes you in on anytime anybody gets within the red zone, end of game situations, close games, the kind of game that you would want to watch if you knew that was happening at that moment. And I don't think this is geared towards fans of a specific team, the same way that. Streaming packages can be for individual teams. They never do that in the NFL, but they do that in Major League Baseball. I think it's for the overall fan of the sport that is used to clicking around, but then you can let the channel do the clicking for you and keep you up to date on, the things that you want to be up to date on, which basically the close games. I think this would be great for college football. I just wonder how you end up getting, if this is ESPN, because ESPN's got ACC, Big 12, and the SEC, but they're not airing any Big 10. So I don't know if they'd be able to get the highlights from Fox or CBS or NBC, work out some sort of an agreement. Because if you're going to do a college football Red Zone, you're going to have to show what's going on in the Big 10 too.
I would agree with that. And the way I do it now is I wait for somebody to send me a text. Hey, you need to watch this game.
That's right. That's what you do. Is you go through, I do this during the Razorback games when I'm
family member. Hey, you're missing something.
Right. Or you just open up your phone and you open up the ESPN app and you check the scores and you see, well, what's close? What can I get a look at right here? They'll do it for you. I mean,
not bad.
And Matt, the idea too of fantasy and how that can be a big aspect of it. I mean, aren't you are doing a college fantasy football team, right?
Yeah.
That'd be perfect right here.
A group
to keep up to date on your teams or the things that matter for that.
It's pretty cool. A group of guys. I think they've been doing it since '99 or so, and they meet up together and everybody shows up and you do the draft. It's a pretty cool thing.
I got to watch. Not when Arkansas is playing, but during the NCAA baseball tournament. Not so many of the games are on streamers. Just for the first round, the regionals. It's different from watching March Madness, in which every game is televised on some national over cable network. It's not the same for the baseball tournament, and so they do a bases loaded package, which essentially is Red Zone for the college baseball regionals, which is awesome. It's so cool. I mean, they'll take you in on every big moment and all the end of close ball games, and think of how many games are happening over that 3 or 4 day stretch. It'd be great to have this on a Saturday for college football.
Yeah, I think that's has some entertainment value. And if I guess if you're betting on games, that might have more entertainment value. You know, like this
seems
is
to go hand in hand with it, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
And then ESPN, of course, adding on at the same time. They've got the ESPN Bet app, and everything ends up getting integrated here. And that's too. If you're going to do a college football red zone product, well, you sure as heck are going to be pushing your betting app as much as you possibly can. These things definitely end up working together. Travis watches NFL because he likes to follow all the Arkansas players. They move up, just like when he watches the NBA. But with college, he thinks people watch mostly one team. And I get that. I mean, even for me now, my Saturdays are so wrapped up in the Razorback broadcast, which is like an 8-hour day, that I don't really get a chance to watch a lot of the other games unless I get a late night game after an 11 o'clock game, or the first week, Sunday, Friday, or the Monday games. But it's like how I watch the NFL is what's on. If it's a good game, I'm going to watch it. Now, I got a 16-year-old daughter who will watch every moment of every NFL game. Matt, she watched the entire Hall of Fame game. I mean, she watched the first NFL preseason game and was just really fired up about it. So I think she's just in, kind of the throes of being a huge NFL fan for the first 2 years here, these last 2 years. But she'd be in on something like Red Zone. But I watch just because there's a game on. I don't know what else I'm going to put on. That's why, like last night, and I finally watched a full Major League Baseball game from start to finish. And if I were to choose my favorite sport, I mean, I'll be honest, everybody knows this. I'm a baseball guy first and foremost. But I will watch any random NFL game probably over a random Major League Baseball game. Maybe it's because the sport translates better to television.
Yeah, whatever English Premier League game's on and the season starts back here August 15th, I'm in. That's me. If it's soccer games on, if it's Premier League, yes.
There's got to be some sort of product like that across the pond. A red zone for
No.
EPL.
You don't understand. I don't care. I want to watch the game start to finish. I'm not an arcade guy. You can't tell the flow. The game ebbs and flows the way you're seeing it. Was the goal, against play? You want to see the buildup. It's not. I do not want to. I want to watch a game from start to finish. I don't want you flipping away where I don't see the last 7 minutes because something happens. They do something and then they set them up in a certain way. I don't want it.
You know what I think some fans.
Yeah, it's called the post game show where they show the highlights. That's where I'll see that. Yeah.
Prime time. I still miss NFL prime. I know they do prime time, but it's not quite the same. Anyway, this is just coming out now, and people are nervous. I think a lot of people that are dedicated to Red Zone are just worried that now it's a part of ESPN, that you're going to get spoon-fed Stephen A. or McAfee along with this.
Don't want that.
Well, I don't know.
I do not watch either one of them.
Well, just because you raise the volume of your voice doesn't mean that I think you're more important.
And, I mean, it's I believe that Pat McAfee is completely a homer for whatever he's got on. I mean,
if
you watch
$300 million, I think everybody would, right? Like you would kind of tend to lean toward the people giving you that much money.
Yeah, it's interesting though, Matt. Even now, he's like today,
like game day.
He's gone off on in his mind. I think the words he used were, I don't know what the defining word was, but just empty suits. And he went off on a couple of other longtime execs at ESPN. It's interesting with McAfee because I'd agree with you. Usually you're not going to bite the hand that feeds you. But he goes off on those executives a lot.
No, I was talking about teams. He's a homer where he, like if they're doing a game at Baton Rouge, he's going to play to the crowd.
It's kind of that WCW. He's done something.
Correct.
Yeah.
He understands how that works. And I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's obvious that's what he's doing. And now I get what you're saying too, Phil. He's interesting, but I guess I've consumed enough that I know what he's going to say before he says it. And I don't need that anymore. And you know what? I was the same. I wasn't a Lee Corso guy. I mean, I thought it was a tired old routine. And maybe it's a good routine. I'm talking about putting the mascot head on, all that kind of stuff. But it was almost like I know what he's going to say. Why do I really want to sit here and be captured for? We're going to wait all this time, and he's going to do the same thing again. And I guess Pat McAfee's kind of grown the same way in a downward trend for me.
But they also get included on all the major events that ESPN will broadcast. You think, Stephen A. is a basketball guy. That's where he came up from. And I know that if you're going to be a featured analyst on ESPN, you got to get all the other sports in too. But why is he there for the All-Star game, for Major League All-Star game? Why is McAfee there for the All-Star game? And it's a
makes no
football guy.
sense.
Doesn't make any sense to me. That's right. You got to be a football guy if you're going to be on ESPN. But that's the thing. Fans of Red Zone, I mean, they want their Red Zone the way that they've always had it. They don't want any changes here. And so they want Scott Hansen. They want no commercials. And watch the commercials come in. Because ESPN's going to be paying.
Well, they're going to do this golf thing. And so this is really, something that grinds your gears type thing. But it's like they'll be saying we're playing through. And then they minimize the golfers, and then they show you a commercial for 90 seconds. But that's still on there. You can still kind of see them golfing. But, it's 25% of your TV now. The 75% is the commercial. They'll do something like that.
I have to get up and walk towards the TV to see it. I can no longer see the scores.
What are y'all doing?
And it's like, and I'm tuning out the commercials, so whatever.
I was also wondered, too, like on a Saturday, think of the NFL. You can never have more than 16 games. And on a Sunday, you don't have 16 games because you still have your Monday night and your Thursday night. Like, how many college football games are there on a Saturday? Just even inside the Power Four. There's over 60 teams in the Power Four. How many games are you going to be able to actually monitor?
2 bye weeks, per year. So, yeah.
It's a lot of flipping around, a lot of zipping around from that game to that game to that game to that game.
Because they don't always just play a Power Four team, so there's more games.
Yep, the first 3 weeks in the SEC, every single SEC team plays that day. There's no bye weeks to week 4.
Right. Yeah. Well, it is a little bit different for week 1. Week 1's the only week where the SEC won't play Saturday. That's the only one. And I think, doesn't Auburn play Baylor on a Friday? I think there's a Sunday game.
Doesn't it open in Ireland? Isn't the first game Ireland?
It's not SEC, though. That is that's Iowa State, Kansas State.
Big 10.
Yeah,
Big 12.
That's August 23rd.
Okay.
And I understand when Notre Dame goes there to play. Why is Iowa State? What's the draw to Ireland for Iowa State, K-State? Just to get 2 teams there, I guess, because it seems to be a thing that Ireland or the Irish football players,
think Florida State will never
fans enjoy.
You think they'll ever sign up for an Ireland trip again?
No,
probably not. Yeah, Auburn and Baylor play on Friday, week 1, and then South Carolina's on a Sunday against Virginia Tech. Heck, the Hogs played on a Thursday last year to open the season. Thank goodness we don't have to worry about that again. But Missouri opens up on Thursday against UCA, and that is the only week until the last week of the season when you got Thanksgiving, and there might be, the Egg Bowl's Thanksgiving, and you've got a Friday game and Saturday too. But from week 2 through November 22nd, it's all Saturdays. And if you're talking about college football product and the way that the games are spaced out, and if it's ESPN and ESPN is all about the SEC, it'll end up sometimes feeling like an SEC game, Red Zone, which I think will be just fine. Probably upset some of the other fans across college football and would play exactly into the way they think ESPN controls the sport.
It's a long ways from Manhattan to Dublin, would you say?
Manhattan, Kansas. Yeah, it's a long way from Manhattan, New York to Dublin.
It would be the same
longer
thing.
from Manhattan, Kansas.
From Manhattan, Kansas, you can't get there from there.
Goodness gracious! Not even through practice. That's the truth.
Well, so you got the Little Apple, that's Manhattan, Kansas, and you got the Big Apple, that's New York City. Yeah, there's probably direct flights, but you'll probably have to go through New York City to get there from Manhattan, Kansas.
Oh, look, guys, my Phillies are down 5-1 to the Orioles right now. I don't know, maybe I'll give up on the Phillies after one day. Maybe I'll become a Tigers fan. I'll just change this off day by day, depending on who's winning. So I could be a front runner all the way. It's time finally for the first time in my life and be a front runner baseball.
Get you the
fan.
hat that just has the baseball player hitting the ball, like not a team, but it's just it's like an umpire hat.
All I got to do is just go by the standings, Matt. And right now I'm just going to say, let's go Blue Jays, Tigers, and Astros. I'm just going to root for the first place teams because it feels good.
You just change hats as the games go along, right? Oh, I got to change hats.
That Dennis Rodman jacket that had every single logo of every team. I was like, yeah, hey.
Or the Gaylord Perry jersey that he wore at an Old Timers game with all the teams he played for, all 8 of them right there. No logo any bigger than his belly button.
Phil, I've got a Phillies question for you.
Shoot.
How soon before Gage Wood pitches for them?
Good question. I mean, it's going to have a lot to do with the state of their bullpen at the end of the season. Because I don't think Gage has made his debut yet in the minors. And they got back Jose Alvarado, who had a PED suspension, can't pitch in the postseason. So I don't think Gage will pitch this year. But next season, if he's dealing as a starter, and the Phillies are in a position where they may need somebody to work late in the year, I could see him doing it. I could see Gage being up there in about a year or so. All right, we're back to wrap up halftime in just a moment. Stay with us on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Pain don't hurt. This is halftime.
Hey, it's Matt Jones. If the weather has raked your roof and you need a roofing company you can trust, call my friends at Patriot Brothers Roofing. They are licensed, bonded, insured, and lifetime River Valley residents located in Van Buren.
Thanks, Matt. We are also the only roofing company in the River Valley that installs a full CertainTeed integrity roof system and registers a 50-year warranty directly with CertainTeed. Avoid the door knockers and storm chasers. We are local and we will be here long after the storm chasers are gone.
Check out PatriotBrothersRoofing.com or call 479-652-9479.
Patriot Brothers Roofing, because your home deserves only the best.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, 2-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible, overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Hey,
Ty Richardson from the Morning Rush, and I want to tell you what Linda, Joe, and their team are doing at Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant. Daily lunch specials come with a side and a roll, Monday through Friday from 11 to 3, just $9.99 each. Mondays is Mimi's Meatloaf. Tuesday is 3 chicken tenders. Wednesday is chicken fried steak. Thursday, Garrison Swiss chicken. And Friday, a Whippoorwill burger. 509 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant. Timeless Southern home cooking.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Pick 'em up just let 'em down. The same, baby, but I always know just the way you're gone.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Back on halftime here to wrap up the show with a very quick segment. I was gonna say something to Clay, but then he had to go take care of the pup. He was barking from off in the distance there for a quick moment. And it's our last show with Clay for nearly 2 weeks. Because what is it? When do you head to Colorado, Clay?
Monday. Early Monday. Yep. Driving through Kansas City. Get this. So you remember I went to for the trip to Omaha. I stayed at my brother's house in the plaza at Kansas City.
Yeah.
Came back after the no-hitter, Gage Woods no-hitter. I left the last pitch. I saw him get mauled, running around the home, doing the Arkansas thing across his chest, and I hopped down the steps out to the left field corner and drove to Kansas City. Well, I left my favorite 3 pair of pants hanging in my brother's closet. So Monday I'm going to stop off at his condo in Kansas City and get my pants.
That's probably a good thing.
You didn't have that on your bingo card that I was going to talk about, picking up pants in Kansas City, did you?
Not quite. No, my bingo card today includes smelling salts, ketchup smoothies, tight ends, defensive backs, SEC football, any given Saturday, and red zone. That was my bingo card.
Did not have Monty Harrison talking about Todd Butler recruiting him. You didn't have that on your bingo card either.
No, but I did so I remember talking with Matt Hobbs about it, and he remembered he knew Monty coming out of high school. He tried to get him to go. It was a matter if he was at Mizzou then or Wake Forest, and they had him on his. I think a lot of coaches had Monty on their radar. Absolutely right. Well, have a great trip, Clay. Looking forward to seeing some photos from it.
I will send you photos. And guess what? I'm writing a column this afternoon about you, your son, and your dad's float trip with pictures.
That's fun. I can't wait.
That'll be at Whole Hog Sports sometime in the next 2 days.
Okay, awesome. Well, have a great trip. We'll have Clay again a couple of Tuesdays, and then tomorrow it's a regular old-fashioned Thursday on halftime. Dudley Dawson, Brett Dolan joining us on halftime, getting a little bit more into the start of the football season. And Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast ready to go momentarily. Ruskin and Zach coming up in just a few minutes on this very radio station or on hitthatline.com. For Matt Jones, Kristen Johnston, Clay Henry, I'm Phil Elson. Thanks for tuning in. That's halftime. Get up, get out, and get better.